Here we go. Welcome to Mick at Night. There we go.
Mick at Night. Mick at Night. Welcome to Mick at Night. I don't know.
Mick and Dan are here to service you.
I never watched Nick at Night. That was Timmy's thing.
Like ever? Because it was on when we were young.
Yeah. He was all into those like old shows.
Mm.
And I mean, I knew what it was, but did they have an actual just Nick at Night like theme?
What they would do is, so Nickelodeon, no, they didn't have a theme. It never switched over.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like, so like Snick, right? Snick had a thing that came on before the shows. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if Nick at Night had something that came on before the show.
I think a few times they had some of those like not teasers, but those like buffers that would pop on, and it's just like, now it's time for Nick at Night. But that was one. So and this is for anybody who's watching and listening, they may not know, but like, and if you don't know, because you said you didn't watch it, so Nickelodeon, when it started, it was just Nickelodeon. Then they thought up Nick Jr. to go from 4 a.m. until I think 11 a.m. And
David,
that was
no.
What's
up,
David,
Jason?
Perfect, man. Hey, what's going on, Jason? Congratulations to Jason on his engagement and forever fiance. You guys, congratulations.
For real?
Yeah, he asked her today.
Congratulations, man.
Dude, it's awesome. Awesome. We're so happy for you, brother.
The Shake household loves love, and we support you.
Yeah. Oh, you're on his show tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yep. 3 Geeks. I'll be there. Chatting up with the three men and one boy.
Well, I don't know which 3 men you're going to be talking to, but they're all pretty fun. Max is a hoot. Max will make you laugh, man. He's
I'm excited, man. Talking all things geek, talking all things humorous, talking all things important to this sphere and this influence. I don't think they wanted me to weave in any sort of like, my doctoral thesis with postmodernism and post-structuralism or anything, but you never know. I might. One time I did say lycanthropy on this show. So
wait a second, and I'm not going to shoehorn myself in because that's messed up, but I'm going to kind of shoehorn myself in. And here's why. Jason, you got Josh and you have Dan on tomorrow, and I didn't get an invite? No, that's not their fault, by the way. I told them I wasn't going to do their show anymore, and so they don't ask me. And that was like a year or two ago, but Tay can make a...
Yeah. So, Mick, I did see...
Oh, cool. Oh, sorry.
See that? Yeah, I did Sportnet. If Destiny's watching... I did see last voyage of the Demeter today.
Oh, how was it?
I give it a solid B+. It's a real throwback to Hammer horror films, but the plot. Now I'll say this, so it's not an original plot, and not just because it copies from Bram Stoker's Dracula either. Okay, it's not an original plot. It is for sure the plot of Alien. It's Alien, but like in the ocean.
With the not even a mermaid is in that far.
Yeah, it's that plot, but in the ocean. I'm trying to resize my window right now, and it's not. Never mind, whatever. However, the set pieces are so good that it does channel the Hammer stuff exactly as it should. I dig it. It's a good. I know financially it's not doing well. I mean, it's getting just obliterated. Which begs the question: why are you releasing that movie not in October? But
yeah, I mean, I know for years they've been trying to start, and it's worked on some movies, but and I know why they do it because they buy. I'm really stoned. I took a lot of gummies and I hit. But anyway, I work in creative. We're on strike. No, I'm kidding. I'm SAG-AFTRA anymore. So technically, I never was. I was supposed to be because of the traffic job, and I signed all the paperwork. And then I quit that job, and you're no longer in SAG.
I was able to resize the window. There we go. Now it doesn't look like I'm looking. Did I tell you about? I probably told you about a new screen.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like 38 inches wide. So I was trying to look at you and look at me at the same time, and it was not working out very well. because like you were over here and my face was here, so I was like this in the camera, and I was like, that's I don't have my good mark. I need a better mark. This is a much
Now
better
I
mark.
knew. This is where I get my competitiveness that I was talking about, because I love that thing so much. It's not really competitiveness as much as it is like a bit of envy. Like, I kind of want it now because I was like, that's a great setup, and I was like, I never think about that.
Well, I will say, like, I mean, selfishly, it's gaming, obviously.
Yeah,
But like,
and you do it way more, so it makes sense.
work-wise, it's really, really good because I have the second monitor, but this ultra widescreen monitor I can drag into 4 windows.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's like having 4 16-inch screens plus an additional screen over here on the right. So I can throw my music over here on the right screen, and I can pull my work into 4 screens on the widescreen.
Jeez. And how many inches?
38.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That is it.
Dude, yeah, because I'm looking at them now, and I'm looking at a 49-inch, and like, I think I got a little hard.
A little.
You're so pretty.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Oh my god.
I might have accidentally shoehorned myself into 3. Because like, apparently he asked me last week. I just forgot.
Dude, come on. Like, I got to imagine that they'd have me on tomorrow.
Yeah, Josh likes me too, so it should be fun. I'm gonna ask Mac to come on, because you know what it was, and I feel bad. I'm gonna because I'm so stoned, and I'm gonna be revealing now. When we were doing a network for a long time, we had you were there. You had a bunch of we had a bunch of shows that are on the network, and it was tough. You were dealing with a lot of people, at all times, and there was a lot of shows. I don't know what it was, but there was like a small amount of shows. Even after the network, it was actually after the network disbanded, but like, it was after the show that they were sort of making it where Mick was the butt of the joke when he's on the show.
Oh.
And, like, and like, kind of making me feel like I'm dumb or something like that. So, and I was getting annoyed, and I'm like, and I would say, when you come on my show, even if you cursing me out, I'm not going to make you look like a fool, because I just don't believe that's professional. Or I just won't have you on the show, like, it wouldn't happen. Why keep inviting me back? Is it because you want to, like, in my mind, I'm like, is it you want the Scene Snobs name, but you can,
yeah, you want the logo, you want the,
yeah. I don't know.
Like, it's kind of like dating.
Yeah.
Or like being in a band or something. Like, you can compare it to anything like that.
Yeah.
If you're just gonna feel that way, just break up. Like, right? I don't understand. Like, so if you're in a relationship, I don't understand abusing your significant other. So that'd be like that, right? Like, you're having Mick on the show and treating you like shit. I don't understand cheating. Like, if you care that little, then just leave. I don't understand, like, being anything other than present. And like, so I don't get it, man. Like, if you think like, I'm doing a show and I hate Mick Manhattan, well, I'm not gonna have you on the show. I'm just gonna be like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna go stream my own thing.
Yeah. And well, my problem for when it comes to 3 Geeks and what I feel bad about is that was happening at a time where I would go on 3 Geeks quite a bit. And I had a rapport with some of them. Well, a couple of them, I don't know if they like me still, but like, the rest of them are like super nice, and like, and they weren't even the geeks. Like, those guys weren't the geeks. They were like outside of that peripheral. They were peripheral to that. So that I had like this rapport where like they would start fucking with me, and I would fuck back and whatever. And I thought, but it started feeling, I think I just like kind of put it all together, like it was happening with these other shows. And I just lumped it. I was like, I'm not doing any shows anymore. I was like, I'll watch them, I'll support, but I'm not doing them, because I'm just not going to be the butt of the joke. And the truth of the matter is, especially considering out of all those shows, when I said that to them, none of them came back or said anything, except for 3 Geeks, who came back and apologized. And no, I thought that was our rapport.
Okay.
I just always felt bad, and then I've never gone back. So it just had kind of gone back. So if I go back, I wanted to be honest about that and say it here, because I do support and love 3 Geeks. And
hey, Jason's great. I don't know the other 2 guys as well. Jason's great. I've popped on the. Did I not during when we were doing the charity stream? Did I not jump on their show for them during the charity stream? Was that them? Right before we read the script, I was on a show, and I thought Jason was on the show.
It was the Scariest Now show. You did. That was Sturdy and yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember. I just was sitting here chatting, and they were like, "Why don't you just come on the show?" I was like, "Okay," like I'll do anything. Like it doesn't matter. Like let's talk about like I don't know what would be the most random. Like they have a Matlock show, so I have to be more random than Matlock.
Dude, I that was one I kind of want to do the Matlock show.
I've only seen a few episodes of Matlock. I love the show. My grandparents watch it constantly, but like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I didn't like. I couldn't go on there and I couldn't contribute to it. But you better believe I'd try.
I could. Well, for that one episode though.
As long as I knew ahead of time. True. I guess if I knew the episode ahead of time, I could watch it. Yeah, and it wasn't like
they'll tell you.
You know, if it wasn't like me just freewheeling, like I guess I could then if I could watch the show because I've watched enough Matlock to know like the pattern that like it follows the standard 3-act play, all that stuff. Like I've watched the show enough to know all of that. So yeah, I suppose I could. But what would be more random than Matlock?
I don't know. What would be more random than Matlock? Like just a random ass TV show. Like this is what I'm going for. There's so many.
You think the most random. So if you had to, like, gun to your head.
No, don't do that.
Most random podcast that you can think of. Like, what would it be
about
like?
TV?
Anything. Like it's
just like, crazy. I don't know. There's so many. What's the most random? I'll bet you there is a podcast out there that discusses buttons.
I could do that. I could do a button. I could join. I couldn't host it. Mad Men, Dadpool. I could do Mad Men. I've never seen Mad Men, and I could do Mad Men. I've never seen Mad Men, but I could still do it. I have opinions about Mad Men just because of what other people have informed me about it. Like, I could still do a Mad Men podcast. For one episode. I'm good for one episode of pretty much anything. I think. Like
there's literally 3 podcasts about buttons.
I do it like.
I'm sorry.
You know what? What really makes me angry is all of my jackets have the extra buttons sewn on the inside. That really makes me upset because I have to take those off every time. Like, just put them in a bag in a pocket. Why are they sewed on?
Well, is it like peacoats and such? Because peacoats, they do that for a reason. And they used to do that for sport coats for a reason too. Or like dress coats.
All my suits always have it like so on the bottom side of the lapel. Yeah. They always have them sewn in, and I'm like, dude. So I have to sit there and take the little like the hook and pull the line out because I don't want to cut it because then sometimes it's attached to the jacket, and like I have a lot of opinions about buttons. Do you remember the 90s button-only jeans? Like, who had that idea? Did you ever try to unbutton and button the bottom button on button-only jeans?
Fuck those things. I never wore those.
Oh,
I was trying to think if I wore those or not.
I had so many. Like, because back then, I wore the Jabot. Do you remember Jabot?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, so Jabot button-only jeans. And the bottom button in them would be in the very crease, right next to the crotch. And getting it buttoned or unbuttoned was so difficult because I'm an athletic guy. I got I lifted all the time and stuff. So I got larger than normal thighs, larger than normal butt. And that bottom button, trying to get it buttoned or unbuttoned, it was tight. So you know what? 3 button podcast that Mick found. Fuck buttons. Zippers only, son.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first.
Not just zippers. We gotta go all Velcro too. I'm all for Velcro. Okay. Actually, I thought about this the other day. I want to have a conversation with you about it because I think you're the right man for the job right now.
I'm always.
I want society to knock off its discrimination against Velcro. shoelaces are fine for hiking and fine for sporting events for your shoes, but Velcro's fine too. I'm tired of being a 41-year-old man who gets to watch my kid have Velcro and shoe. You know, sometimes he wears his shoelace shoes. At least he knows how to tie them. Thank you. But you know, he prefers the Velcro because he's like, these are quicker and they'll accept me wearing them. And I'm like, it's true. They don't accept
I
me.
met a guy in the Army who had never tied shoelaces.
Get the fuck out. Really? What do you do?
He was from the South, and you know how poor parts of the South, like poor parts of the South are. He had only worn the like Walmart Velcro shoes. They have the two pieces of Velcro that come over. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's all he had worn his whole life. So he comes into basic training, and they're like, you can't wear those shoes. He's like, what do you mean? Like, these are the only shoes I've ever owned. And they're like, you have to wear the shoes we provide. You have to know how to tie your, and like, he did not know how to tie his shoes. And he got relentlessly mocked for it to the point where they Section 8 his ass. He was going to commit suicide. I'm dead serious. He washed out Section 8. Was gonna like he got just mocked relentlessly. And like you got to imagine this guy's home life too. I felt bad, but there's just not when you're in 50, when it's like 50 guys like that, you know.
You shut up. I get it. I get it. And like, listen, I don't care what anybody's saying. I was not in the military. You know, everyone in my family is. My wife's a veteran, so I don't pretend to know what it's like when you are in groups like that, what they learn, what they study, and neither should you if you don't know. So
it is so try like. Luckily enough, he wasn't my battle buddy. My battle buddy was a whole different issue. I literally had a private pile. Like he was about 60 pounds heavier than I was. And like they're supposed to match you up somebody, but so here's the thing is like I don't get how I matched up with this guy. He was like 6'3", like 270 pounds, right? And I was like 19. I'm at the time I'm just shy of 5'11", maybe about 210 pounds. And I ended up being his battle buddy. And like the guy, he was a piece of work. He was real lazy. But this guy, they Section 8 him because they found him one day. He was supposed to be on fire watch, and he wasn't. And the guy who was on fire watch that needed to be relieved found him like trying to crawl out the window. And the guy that found him had to like restrain him with his flashlight. It was real serious. Well, like, because I mean, it's like pretend fire watch. You're not in combat, and so all you have is like your light. That's all you have. And so he cracked this kid across the back of the head with his light because like he wouldn't come back in the window, and the guy was afraid he was going to get in trouble. Because if anybody goes on AWOL and you're on fire watch, you get in trouble too.
Yeah,
it's like part of the like. So yeah, I didn't like Velcro. I don't know. Like, man, that's like probably my only experience. I don't remember. I don't have a lot of Velcro things. I use Velcro to hang stuff up. Most of these pictures are hung with Velcro. Does that count?
No, but that sounds fucking amazing.
That's what I use.
Why am I not doing this? Where do you get your Velcro?
Dude, this is what you need right here.
I'm so fucking mad at myself at the moment.
Right here. You can get them on Amazon.
I have those too.
Get them on Amazon in like bulk, and it's not that expensive. It's like $16 for like 1,000.
I would never have thought that they would hold up pictures like that, and I see them doing it every time I talk to you.
Yeah, that's it. All of those are hung up with Velcro.
Dude, I'm doing it.
Yeah, Dapple. Like I did.
Is he Michael Orr? Is he part of a conservatorship? No, I'm kidding. That was more of a timely joke
not true, though.
You or anything else, like, you know, because let's make fun of the Tuies and what they're doing. But no, I mean, listen, I feel bad for the guy. Like when you said that, like I'm sitting here like that's fucked up, man.
Well, the kind of poverty. I mean, because Tim and I have shared this before. Like we were poor, you know. The kind of poverty that exists. I guarantee you, as poor, like take whoever it is and like how poor they are, like there's a different level of poverty that takes place in the American Southeast. And
Oh yeah.
I did a whole study on it in my post-Civil War history class. Not to get all Casey on you, but like in my post-Civil War history class, the long-reaching impacts of the Civil War and how detrimental it was fighting the entire war on their territory. You know, I mean, that's what like it really was. Like the only major battle that took place that wasn't on Confederate soil was Gettysburg. That's it. So,
Wow. Yeah.
the
Holy
poverty
shit!
that
I
exists
never
in
thought.
that
Sorry,
area.
I don't mean to cut you off. That was
No,
just like I never thought about that.
there are small skirmishes, but the only large battle that took place that wasn't on Confederate soil was Gettysburg. That was part of the reason they fought it. Like Robert E. Lee was like, they were tired of being on the defense, and they just were like, fine, and they won a couple of like strategic victories, not necessarily victories. History books try to paint. I feel like history books try to paint conservatives or Confederates in a way that's like, oh my God, they were kind of like heroic. So they try to say that they were victories. They weren't. They were just like strategic victories. And it was enough momentum that they thought if they won at Gettysburg, the French would join. And then
Oh, really?
they wanted the French and British to join on side of the Confederacy. Yeah. Who's Bush won G? I don't know them.
Oh, they've been coming in recently.
Oh,
Bush
it's on
is
Twitch. Is that Twitch? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
What up, Twitch audience? I didn't know we were on Twitch, Mick.
Yeah, buddy. Anytime you want a game on there, go for it. I do. You can do it on
The
here.
only thing that anybody has ever wanted to watch me play is Magic the Gathering Arena, and it's a sad thing, but I've been playing it since alpha, and I'm pretty good at it.
Do you want to
like the only game I'm good at.
You want to hear an interesting fact about me?
Uh-oh.
I am the only registered Magic the Gathering player to be undefeated. And I have played.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, I didn't play at all. You know what I mean? The only one to be undefeated.
It's like one tournament and won and then left.
No, it wasn't even a tournament. Like it was just like a game at a store. And a buddy of mine was like, here, I made a deck, play me. I want to see how that deck does. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, here, I'll tell you. And he wouldn't even tell me. He was like, just keep throwing down cards. So I kept doing it. And at the end, he was so astonished that I had won, and he was pissed. He was like, because he was like the dude that like goes out and does these things. He was doing it professionally. This is like 20 years ago. So
yeah.
So oh my God, this is high school. So this is longer than 20 years ago.
90s, man.
That was fucking sad, man. That just really hit me hard when I felt that for a sec. So, and plus I'm, stuff. But
you start thinking about that stuff and you're like, wow, this was, because like Magic is currently celebrating their I think 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I've been playing it since 1993. I was 10. We bought a bunch of cards on my friend's birthday. We went
That's
up.
Not right. That's not right. You said 25th. That's 30.
30th. I said 30th. Yeah.
That makes me fucking sadder, dude. Because now I'm like 1993 was 30.
Yeah, 30. It's their 30th anniversary. Radar's coming in.
Radar, what's up, man? You got Dadpool here. Radar's here. Oh man.
Mick Nite.
Mick Nite.
No nudity.
The sexiest I didn't even see it. People that don't know completely how a game works can whoop ass. It's true, but I walked away. I said I'm never playing this fucking game again. I never touched another deck, so I was like, I am undefeated. And I still he's still on my Facebook. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but
I would love sometime, like on a live show, to play my brother or something. He gets worked up. Tim gets worked up about Magic, and I mean, I can. Don't get me wrong. Oh, I can get, but like I've been playing so long that like, and he got me. He was the one who got me in the digital version. I never adopted the digital version. I was physical only, and because of that, like as I got older, I only did what's called limited, which is where you go and you draft cards out of packs. Then he got me into, I'd have one Radar. I'd have the whole set on Arena anyway. Then he got me into Arena, and now like anytime I choose to, I can make what's called Mythic, which is like being top 1,000 in the world, and like I can make Mythic pretty much whenever I want to. It's just a matter. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time.
So you and your brother both play, and you're both ranked.
He did, but he got too. I think what was happening, he was getting too frustrated, and it was impacting other things. Because when my brother gets mad, he doesn't just get mad at the game. It's like dominoes, and so I think it was impacting other things, and he was like, "This isn't worth it," kind of thing.
I get that, and that's, you know what? If anything, that's like that's a mentally healthy way to handle things.
Healthy way. I haven't busted his chops at all about it. I think I did it like a little bit, just because he has a ton of cards, like digitally, that now they're just, you know.
But you
can't. I already have them. I have almost every card.
Oh,
I have almost every card. There was one point where I had probably, let's call it 40,000 cards. I think I've told this story before on the show, but after I got married, there was a night at my house where I was like 3 or 4 whiskeys in, looking at some of my collectibles, and I was like, man, I used to own X, Y, and Z. I used to own most of the Alpha set. And when I left for college, I put it in like a cabinet, right? My mom sold it at a yard sale.
What?
I had Power 9 cards. I had a Ruby Mox. I had now they're not going to grade out high or anything like that, but I had them. I had these cards. So I sit down on my laptop and I made on a spreadsheet a whole bill. I mailed it to my mom. It had like my Optimus Prime that her daycare kids tore apart, had like all my Thundercat toys on it, all my Magic cards, all my comic books, like everything that I left when I left for college, and then she just sold at a yard sale. And I was like, this is some shit, man. This is some shit.
That's fucking hilarious and fucked up at the same time.
It's who does that? But to be fair, I said I was like 3 whiskeys in. I was like, oh man, I wish I still had those things. You know,
you want to hear fucked up? You want to hear something fucked up that I probably shouldn't say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Because I was like 5, so I feel like I shouldn't be in trouble. If I was like 5 or 6, I feel like something.
No, there's a statute of limitations on everything, dude.
Yeah, and then this isn't even like super illegal because I stole from family. But so my brothers, when we were kids, they were big into GI Joe, so they'd always collect. And there were guys they couldn't get because like we were poor, so we weren't getting shit. So like we had this cousin who always got fucking everything, you know, and they would always have like this shit. So when I would go, they would let me play with all that stuff at the house. Like, well, they were a little bit older and like maybe go outside, play football by themselves, you know, because I was a little younger. So my brothers would tell me before we went over, like, listen, little Nick, when you're playing with the toys, we need, like, they would show me pictures that they drew and shit of like what they look like, or, you know, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, this one, put them in your pocket. And
that's terrible influence.
It was so bad, man. It was so bad. And yeah, so I did. And then they had them.
I mean, like, listen, like,
and nothing ever came of it. This is literally a confession from now. So like my cousin, I'm saying my cousin will hear this, and I know they won't, because literally no one in my family listens to my shows. Oh wait, no, my wife does. And my kids will listen to some stuff
when they can.
They can. That's true. Yeah, that's true. They can't listen to everything. You listen to Star Trek podcast.
Dude, I think he does a good job on that. Yeah.
I have a lot of fun. I love doing it with Casey, because Casey is just up. And to your point earlier when you said Casey, and I'll continue the history talk, like what I was going to say afterwards. But for this, like, it was just always fun because I was learning, because Casey just knows so much.
Oh, dude, and like I have a friend like that with Star Trek and Star Wars. Like, the dude legitimately, like, now I don't know. Do you think everybody kind of has a thing like that? So Miranda Miranda knows more. I guarantee you, whoever you invited on, she would know more than them about the Golden Girls. I feel like everybody has something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
so for me, like I would challenge anybody to like the two things that I think I could really kind of show up on that are Nightmare on Elm Street and Futurama. I think I the one thing I don't know though, if anybody knows that out there and can teach me, I don't know the alien language in Futurama. I never bothered to learn it.
It's Conjarian.
Is that the name of it?
I have no idea.
You said that with such convincing. You're like, oh, it's Conjarian.
I have. Listen, I am a guy who loyalty, honestly. You call me John Cena. I like not hustle, but I do love it. But like loyalty, honesty, integrity. Those are like the three things when I meet people. Like it's like I can see them, you know. And I try to be that with everybody. I try to be open and honest. I try not to be a piece of shit, anything like that. And just always be those three things. But I've also lived a life where I may have had to hustle a few things a few times. So I got really good, especially in the acting days.
Well, yeah.
At convincingly just saying something. And people will just be convinced. And I am still the guy. And many people may not remember this. This is many moons ago, like 10 years ago. But I'm the guy who trolled a woman for 3 days on Facebook about rich people going to an island of dinosaurs to hunt them as game.
Like you said it was real?
Oh, Daniel.
I wasn't here, man. In 2013, I was like,
he could tell the story. Oh my god, I wish there was somebody watching right now that like was there, because dude, it wasn't just me. So if you remember about 10 years ago,
accomplices.
The internet came out. The internet came out in droves. Because remember back then, Facebook was like, like if you left everything public, people saw everything.
I turned Facebook off in 2010, I think.
You're a smart man. You're a smart man.
I turned it back on now, but like I didn't the whole time I was teaching, I didn't have it. So.
Oh yeah, I think, dude, for me, I had it all open. I didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever.
Like, yeah, you can see whatever.
You know, and when I had kids,
Nick's got pictures of him in a trench coat.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. So I would just put it all out there for open. I guess stop doing the show high. But anyway, I digress. So people were commenting who I had no idea. They were just friends of other people commenting, and friends of mine or whatever. So my favorite thing is back in 10 years ago or so, there was a picture of Steven Spielberg sitting in front of the Triceratops that was on its side on Jurassic Park. And it was going around. Yes. Yeah. It was going around as a meme, a fake article saying that the rich are now out hunting dinosaurs in this game preserve.
It was like something from The Onion.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, there wasn't a meme. I made the meme. I made the article and I made it up and I put that picture on it. Okay. That's what it was. So she read it in my post and freaked the fuck out in a comment.
I can't believe they're killing dinosaurs. That's so terrible.
Oh my god, dude. She was like, is there anything set up for this? Where can I go to learn more? I was like, dude, when it hit, it was like, you know, like in the TV shows, like when somebody sees something and they're like, cha-ching, and like the dollar sign show up. This was like, oh my god. Like, this is like, I just hit the fucking jack. Like rainbow.
I couldn't do that to somebody. I couldn't. I'm a bad liar anyway, but I
went all in, dude. I went all in. And all I said was, it's disgusting. These poor animals, they just like, they want to live. And she is in it, dude. She's in it. And it goes on for hours. This is like 3 hours. And now, because like other people saw and they start commenting and they're like,
yeah,
this thing and this, that, and the other thing. And like, I posted at like 6 p.m. She commented like 6:30. By midnight, I'm like going to bed. And like we're all laughing and joking, like, it's over. You know, that's not the next all night she had been like, I can't believe this injustice. And she went off in the comments, and like people who were up were adding fuel to the fire. So we get to the next morning. We get to the next morning, Dan, I shit you not. I go and I look, it was either on my phone or on my computer, and I see the notifications were like 95, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go over to it and I start reading. I'm like, it's still happening. It's the best day ever. It's like Christmas. So we keep going. We're making photos, Dan. Dan, I have photos of protests happening in Washington D.C. with dinosaurs on it. We're posting it all. We're making up petitions. We're doing everything. Now this is day 2. We're all in. I think everybody just called out of work or something because everybody was on this, and we're not letting this go. And where I'm philosophical, and then we had people coming in, and I hope this didn't start the whole trend of the world right now, but people were coming in and be like pro hunting dinosaurs and like, if I could afford it, I'd do it, and like everybody's now fighting back and forth, and we all are in on the joke, except for her. And I realize this is cruel, but at what? And if it was like a really perverted thing or something like that, I would never do this.
I mean, it's pretty harmless, but
it would never happen. But if you don't fucking realize that dinosaurs are extinct and we have not brought them back, that's your fucking problem. You're gonna eat this shit. And we kept going.
Who falls like that's oh my god. But then again, like is it any different than when people are like fall to like an email scam or something like that, or a phone scam? Like,
yeah, I mean, Jerky Boys, we love that shit. They sold those CDs. Why can't I do that? So there were a couple of people who were just like, "This is cruel. I can't believe you're doing it." You know, by day 2, everybody's like all over the place. So then some people, and we're just like, yeah, we're like, it is cruel. I can't believe they're doing the dinosaurs. And then she would chime in, and Dan, this is where it gets fucked up. The second night,
yeah,
this is a roller coaster. She literally goes, "This is insane." Because I made maps. I took the Jurassic Park map and I like photoshopped stuff out, put stuff in. I was like, this is the game preserve map I found on the internet. And like, she's like, I can't believe this. She goes, oh my God. And it looks like the island from Jurassic Park. Dan, collectively, I could hear a sigh across the world. Everybody who was in on this was just like, like, I think we're done. And like, it was like bedtime for all, like, it was late, late night. So we're like, this is it. She's in on it. So we're just going to let it go. Nobody's going to say anything.
Yeah.
And that third day was fucking tremendous. It was amazing. We go on hard. It's still this woman had probably not slept for 3 days worrying about fucking
dinosaurs.
And then finally, it's like, 3 days later, it's around the same time I posted the goddamn thing. And she goes, fuck you all. I just looked everything up. This isn't true.
Oh my God.
I didn't mind that block. I'm okay with it. If I'm getting canceled for that, I'll
that's it. The only thing I have remotely close, like, so not, God, how, like, at this point, I've been married and with Miranda long enough that, like, I have to stop and think about this for a second. Not my ex, but the one before that one. The very first time I meet her, we are at a college party. We're at a college. This is how long ago it was. We were at a college party. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to her, and like we hit it off. And I'm like, hey, and I don't even have a cell phone at this point, so that's how early this is. I'm like, hey, can I have your number? You know, I'd really like to call you and maybe take you out to dinner, all this stuff. And she's like, absolutely. And here's the worst part about this. So we had just finished talking about the 80s and music and how much I love 80s music and how she loves 80s music. And we were dancing to 80s music, all of this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she hands me a paper. And it says 8675309 on it.
That's not her fucking number. Get out of here.
Of course it's not. It's Jenny's number. Hey, yeah. Jenny, I got your number.
Oh my God. She gave you a fucking fake number?
She gave me but she thought, it wasn't like being rude. She thought I would catch it because we just finished. So I take it home, and my dumbass tried calling it like 3 times. And so I finally called. So that my friend that knew her, I call her and I was like, your friend's got a like fucked up, man. Like she gave me a wrong number. Now, like I can't call her. Did she have a bad time? Whatever. She's like, what do you mean? She was talking about you nonstop. And I was like, well, she gave me the wrong fuck her. She gave me the wrong, like, she's like, what number did she give you? And I said, 8675309. She's like, say that number again. And I said, I just said the number. She said, say it slow. And I said, 867. And I stopped. I was like, do you have her number? Do you have a real number? I shouldn't give you her number at this point, you dumbass. Like that's the only thing remotely close. Like that poor girl, man. Like, I don't know. I'm both torn between laughing my ass off at her and just being like, that one probably still needs a bug about that today.
That is what it is, dude. I like at this point, like I listen, I feel bad. I'm like, it sucks, but
I don't know if you should feel bad though. Like, come on, dude, it's dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's legit, dude. I don't care. You're right. I don't really give a shit.
I mean, like, I play that game with like little kids. They're like 3 years old. Like, oh man, have you guys ever seen Jurassic Park? That was a documentary. Like, I do that to like children. But like a full-grown woman was like, no, I am mad because people are killing dinosaurs.
She was pissed, dude. She was really fucking pissed. It was hilarious. It's still one of my favorite things. And I still like, there's still people who reach out and they're like, dude, that was the best time. Because those were just like 3 days of people just hanging out. It was almost like, I don't know. It was like, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was like in those movies, like when you have those vigils and like everybody's just kind of hanging out and they're waiting for shit. And it's like, but they're all getting together and it feels good because it's communal.
I do miss the one good thing about college like that. We had a lot of times like that where, like, I don't know, in the digital age, we don't have this as much. So I have a couple friends that come over. They actually, why I've missed the first Mick Nite. We had a couple friends come over. We sat down here in the basement. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Apple Music, if you have the app on your like streaming device, it has a music video mode. And we sat down here and watched music videos for like 4 hours. Like we were back in high school and college. And like, I kind of miss that kind of stuff, man, where it's just like, you just sit around, you shoot the shit, you play music. Everybody has like opinions about the music and you talk about them. Like, it's like what we're doing right now, but like, you know, 5, 6, 7 people doing it. And like, I miss that stuff. Like,
that's why I love doing
that's the worst thing about being a grown ass adult is like, you just don't do that stuff anymore.
Dude, who are you talking to? I get jealous of you and your brother, man. When you guys are like texting, not really jealous. Like you guys are awesome. I'm happy for you. But I'm like looking at my wife. I'm like, damn, I want to do this shit.
Well,
oh, can we get
neither of us have kids, so wait, we'll see how you feel. Like when we're both like 70, and you're like, hey Dan, want to come on the stream? And I'm like, yes, anything but sitting here by myself. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I have this kid, I have a grandkid, and like, I didn't. When you don't have kids, you get to do a lot of that stuff. So
I'm gonna try.
Like it's a trade-off, right? Like, you know, I'll be sitting here playing, you know, Grand Theft Auto 64 or whatever, and like it makes like, you know, Dan, we're gonna do a stream today, like a retirement stream about like how we remember when we had to put Blu-rays into the Blu-ray player. Like,
oh my god,
it's like a kid's toy. You got to use your hands. Speaking of Back to the Future, you're sure you want to do horror instead of Back to the Future Part 2?
Yeah, because it's October. It's Friday the 13th.
I know,
but I do want to do Back to the Future too.
I think that. Plus, I don't ever want your wife to have to play 6 women roles ever again. But she did such a good job as oh, what's Marty's mom's name? Oh my god. Why can't I remember Marty's mom's name?
Lorraine.
Lorraine. She did such a good job as Lorraine. I was like, man, she's got to reprise that role.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that.
I had a blast. Like, dude, that's so memorable to me, and I still have that jacket. Like, I wear that jacket non-ironically. my Biff jacket.
You should. It's a fucking great jacket.
Yeah. So did I tell you? I am gonna buy the gray sweater. If you guys want me to be, what's her name? Betty Ross, is that her name? What's her name?
And Betsy Palmer. Betsy
Palmer, not Betty Ross. Betty Ross. Hulk.
I don't know.
Betsy, if you guys want me Betsy Palmer, I'm gonna buy the sweater, and I'm gonna get that iron gray like wig. I do not know what to do about this though. Because I have cultivated this. This is the best my beard has ever been, and I am not shaving.
Keep it, dude. Keep it. Well, so then we'll just wait. We'll just wait, and if you do shave it, that's when we'll spring. Because so let me tell you the plan. I haven't told you the plan yet. I told Sturdy, but
can we tell? Can we say it live?
No, I don't. At this point, people see my shit all the time. I don't care.
Okay.
And I realize, and I'm not saying that because I understand people out there. I just know there are some people who steal my shit. So I'm calling. I don't care. But we announced that we're doing the Castro's script reading, which is going to be a charity thing. We're going to start doing that maybe every 3 months or so.
Love it.
Just do the script
I'm
reading.
always in for charity, so.
Yeah, man. And so maybe we'll do Back to the Future Part 2. Maybe we'll do one in like the winter.
Okay.
But if we do the one in the winter, we should do the thing or something like that.
Depends. Let's get it. So only time now I will watch the thing. Okay, this is a tradition my friend and I started when we were living together in my senior year of college.
I like it.
To watch the thing, it has to be what you think might be the worst blizzard of the winter. Yeah. You shut all the heat off inside the house, open the windows up, and then bundle up and actually watch the thing.
No.
Bundled up.
All right. Well, okay. I live in the South, and our climate change is making our climate change. So our winters, the worst blizzard is generally something that like melts away in like a day. So it's not Michigan.
Come to Michigan. Come to we have plenty to spare. Michigan has plenty to spare.
I don't want any. Every picture you and your brother send me of Michigan during the summer and spring and fall, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. I would absolutely love to live there. And then I watch like RoboCop.
We don't send pictures in the wind. We don't send pictures.
Do not send pictures. I watch like Weather Channel, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, Michigan's dead because it's under 7,000 pounds. Oh no, they're okay.
What's funny is like we never. So other states will ask for like federal aid. Michigan is the only state to have not requested. We didn't even request federal aid when Flint fucking poisoned their own people.
Wait, was that they poisoned their on purpose?
Well, I mean, like it. So yeah, like we didn't even.
You got to be very direct with me tonight.
When Flint happened, we said we got it. I'm like. Michigan, like, so we'll get like the UP especially. If you know anybody from the UP or all you guys know anybody from the UP will get 24 inches of snow, 36 inches of snow, 48 inches of snow. Like it's not unheard. It just happens. Okay. And like it'll fall. And they're like, we got it. Okay. Like we're just hardy people here. Like that's like.
Oh yeah, you guys are good. You're good.
What we do, like growing up in Ludington, Tim and I were familiar with this. Anybody out there that knows what this is, lake effect snow. So because we're next to Lake Michigan in Ludington, the warmer air builds more moisture, but it's like warmer because it's winter. And so all it does is build snow, right? You'll get overnight 24 inches of snow overnight. Like, and not blinking it. We'll have school.
Jesus Christ, fuck that.
Yeah, like it's like, and because we know that all that snow is going to be gone by like 2:00 in the afternoon, and like,
so I don't know how many years ago it was, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, a bus crashed because it snowed, but it was only like a dusting. Like from Jersey, I look at it, I'm like, this is a dusting, this is nothing.
Yeah.
We got 6 feet sometimes, you know. We're not Michigan, but like I knew what snow.
You get a nor'easter that comes through too far south, and like, yeah.
Yeah. So as we're going through, we would do. So as we go through, what was I saying?
The bus crashed.
The bus crashed.
Mick's gonna call it night sooner rather than later, I think. I'm only on my third beer, man. Come on. Get it together.
I'm together. I remember what I was saying though. Okay, I don't. What?
The bus crashed.
The bus crashed into something, right?
Because people in Virginia can't drive. Well, they can't drive because none of the tires are all season. They always have. They're always
True.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I would always lock up. Because I told my wife, I was like, "We're not going anywhere if it snows." She goes, "Why?" Because we're not all season tires. I was like, when I first moved there, we did because I am from up north. But fuck, dude, like. The bus didn't even like really crash. It's not like it went through anything.
It's like slid off the road.
It just like slid off the road and like off just a little.
It's just called a Tuesday in Michigan. So.
Yeah, dude, now it's a state law or state ruling or something like that. That like you got like if it snows, like there's no school, there's no transportation.
That's crazy. Like I will say, in the middle of the state, they have a different. So instead of snow, and I mean we get snow. Don't get me wrong. Like there have been times where I've had to snow blow 3 times in a day. Okay, like it's not that we don't get snow where I live now, but instead in the middle of the state, cold watches. It'll get -20, -30, like, and sometimes one time the real temp was -41. Like it was like -19, but the wind was blowing. And like pipes froze everywhere and school closed for 3 weeks straight. Like that was serious when it got that cold. But I don't know. Like Michigan just doesn't ask for help, man. I don't know. Like,
fucking crazy. I love it. I got something for you. I got a question for you. I know I'm kind of changing the subject, but I thought of a really
change it up. Yeah.
Well, I thought of a really good question, and I don't want to lose it because I feel like it would be really fun.
Okay.
If you could have any job at any time in history, what would you want to do?
Any job at any time?
Yeah, but it's got to be so whatever job you choose, you got to make sure you pick that time. Like,
yep, the time matters. You know what? Secretary of State in 1791.
Oh, really?
I'd want to be Thomas Jefferson.
Like, would you want to be Thomas Jefferson or Daniel?
Yeah, well, that was his role in 1791.
I know. I saw Hamilton. That's legit. That's how I know. I mean, I know Thomas Jefferson.
I would want to shape policy that way. And this is the nerdiest answer ever. Oh my god! Everybody's like, I'd want to be in the Playboy Mansion in 1948. Like, I would want to be Thomas.
I didn't even think about that.
Secretary of State in 1791 and get the opportunity to shape policy to protect the same way that our founding fathers did, and try to be that prescient. That's what I would want. That's the job and time I would want.
Yeah, that's a
fucking nerd.
Fucking amazing answer. I love that answer. Holy shit, dude, that's a great. Because, dude, my answer is I wanted to be a comedian in the 70s.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. Being like, I'm not funny. I can't. That's the other part. Is like, what could you do? I think I could do that job. That's the difference. Like, I couldn't be a comedian in the 70s.
I don't know if I could be a comedian.
I'd want to be that guy that was like, in my country, fish eat you. Like,
well, you answered because my next question was going to be, where would you want to do it in? So like, would it be Rome or would it be Los Angeles in 1996 or something? No, yours is DC. Well, actually, not even, not yet. But
I wanted to answer Gladiator in Rome, in about 100 BCE, because that was the golden age of the gladiatorial games. I wanted to answer that, but that's a quick way to die. I always make fun of, I usually make fun of people that are like, man, I would do X, Y, and Z. I was like, dude, you would be the stormtrooper that gets shot. The first one off the ship is what you would be. Like, especially I have friends that try to act like Barney Badass. And, you know, we'll watch like Saving Private Ryan or something. They're like, man, I'd make it so far up that beach. I'm like, I rewind it and I push play. And that the first dock opens on the loader. The guy gets shot in the head. I'm like, see that? That's you. Because that's how it happens. Like, it's random. You don't make it up the beach. You're the guy who dies. Enough. Like, so no, not Gladiator. No, because I did like that's a quick way to die. But I would I'd want to be the Secretary of State in 1791.
I just thought it'd be cool to hang out with some of those comedians back then, man. And in the 70s, oh my God.
Bill Cosby put something in your drink. Ooh.
Oh my God, we would probably be friends. I
can't joke about that. I shouldn't joke about
that. I wanted the guy to be my dad in the 80s.
Everybody did.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you get the Jello Rudy.
What was that?
I don't have a Cosby.
That sounded like Data from Star Trek trying to do Cosby.
Yeah, like that's it. Like I don't have comedy, man. It's so funny because like people are like, you're so funny. I'm like, I'm not funny.
Well, you gotta harness
the furthest thing from I'm too earnest to be funny. Anything that comes out of my mouth, I'm like, I mean this thing. Like, and they're like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, no, seriously, I mean this.
But that's what it is. You at least know how to jest in those moments, and that creates a funny atmosphere, which helps. And you do know how to tell jokes. You know at least timing of things, so you are a funny guy.
Timing is important, but like I could never be like. I'd be like Rollins. Like people laugh at Rollins, but he's not a comedian.
No, that's it. Like there are and aren't. Like you're right, he isn't a comedian, but he could be classified as one.
He
like that Hannah Gatsby or whatever is.
Yeah,
it's really more of a TED Talk. It's like, but they're funny too.
You know, I would say this is like, I guess I can be really self-deprecating at times where I'm like, man, look at this guy. Like,
look at that face.
I went to the doctor today. I've been dealing with a shoulder issue, and this story is I call it Adventures of an Asshole, because that's what I look like. When I tell this story, I look like an asshole. I go to my friend's bachelor party, right? When I was in high school, I could throw a fastball in the low 80s. And they all knew that. Like, it was just like, they just knew that. So I go to this bachelor party, and if you've ever been to a baseball stadium, you've seen this. They have like throw the baseball.
Yeah.
So at the time I'm even coaching. So when I coached, I would go on the mound and I would throw batting practice for the kids. You know, I'd throw like mid 60s. So that way they could like hit the ball, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So we line up and everybody's like, fastest person doesn't have to pay for drinks. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna beat all you guys. So I reach back, you know, I whip my arm back, and no more than I did. And this is because no warm up. I knew. I was like, oh, there it goes. And I knew something was wrong right here.
Oh no.
So basically, for the past 8 years, I've been dealing with the fact that I have 2 torn tendons and a torn rotator cuff in my shoulder. So it's event. I'm like, who does that? Like, now I think I hit 70, or it was 80, 79, 82 with my 3 pitches. So I did it. But I paid the price. You know? And like, I don't know, man. That's the thing, is like, I'm never going to come back from that moment. And I think a lot of people out there probably have moments like that where they were like, man, I was an asshole. And that's why I call it Adventures of an Asshole. It's like, what an asshole. Now, who does that? They're like, oh, I'm going to throw faster than all of you. And I should mention too, all of them are 8 years younger than me. Every single one of these guys is. So of course, part of it is like, oh, I got to show these young guys how it's done. Yep. So that compiles it. It makes it look worse.
What I tell you, I don't do that shit no more. When I said I walked away from fighting, it was all of it. I don't do it. I just chill. You want to go. The only way you're getting me to fight is if you are hurting the people. You can even kick my ass, and I'm like, whatever. Okay, this happens a lot.
Nick, I don't think a whole lot of people can kick your ass. I've been stood next to you, dude. I don't think a lot of people.
Even then, like, I usually just grab people now if it comes to that.
You done? You done?
Yeah, just like let it go. But like, if you're fucking with my family, I'll murder you and anybody that you care about. It's just gonna, but that's it. Just leave them alone. You're fine. So really, that's what it comes down to. That's the only way I'm fighting.
I don't know. It's the Marty McFly in me. Like anybody that like. We have a phrase among my friends that I went to high school with. It's like, if you were a man, ... right? And it's always followed by the worst ideas ever. It's like, if you're a man, you'd buy this like $10,000 like lightsaber. If you were a man, you'd do this. If you like, what an anachronism that is now. And that's how you know we're old, because you know that phrase. But guys in their 20s would hear that and they just roll their eyes at us.
Dude.
But I don't think it exists anymore. That phrase that we grew up with, where it's like, oh, you do, like the Marty McFlyism. I don't think that exists anymore.
I hope it doesn't, dude. I really hope it doesn't. And it does, because my kids fucking challenge me all the time because they know I can't do shit. I got 2 broken knees, a broken back, and I'm fucking giant. So they challenge me all the time. Like, well, you can't jump off that? Like, no, I can't jump off that because I'm never going to walk again. That's what's going to happen here. But the circumference of my belly hitting the ground with all the weight inside of it is going to crush my legs.
You're a large man. You are a tall, large man.
Dude, it's nuts. Like I'm just like, I'm too big. And that was the funny thing. So, and I was telling a friend of mine about this earlier. We were talking. Oh, Sturdy. I keep forgetting Sturdy. So I was Sturdy. I was talking to him, and I was telling him. So I was a firefighter in 20. I think I left in 2006.
Okay.
So right before I left because I got hurt and then I stayed on for a while.
Was it volunteer or were you like a full-time fireman?
No, it was a private company.
Okay.
So I was in great shape back then.
Have to be.
Like right before.
You have to be able to pass that test, man. Like.
So yeah, I mean, I was young too. I was like, what, 23, 24? Yeah, I not even. I think I was 22 or 21, 22 when I joined. So fucking, what was my point?
You're fireman.
I was fireman. Oh yeah. So then I got hurt, and then I left to go to college. Went to school, and I just started, like, I kept drinking and partying and doing all that stuff, but I wasn't working out like I was. And so of course I because I don't overeat or anything. I'm not a big overeater. I'm not a big sweet tooth guy. So like
I am both of those things. I ate 5 slices of pizza and like 6 wings tonight. So
yeah, you look like you, and now I look like me because God has a fucking sense of humor. So
I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry.
I don't blame you if you couldn't look like you and eat that way.
Tim, you should see. I used to challenge Tim, and you've seen Tim with his shirt off. I won't take my shirt off because I'm like 40 now. And like the muscles don't ripple the way they used to, ladies and gentlemen. But like,
I'll take it off on Patreon.
Like Tim, I used to be like, you need to eat that like triple whatever. Like, and you've seen him. My brother can put food away when he wants to. My brother can put food away. I used to make him eat the like. I mean, like, do you remember the trip? I don't even know if they still have it anymore. The triple baconator.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, you got to eat that triple baconator. Because I wasn't gonna eat the triple baconator. I was like, dude, you got to eat the triple baconator. He's like, I have to. I was like, because I can't eat that. I'll get sick. I'm like, dude, my brother could put away, like, as he is skinny as he is. You know, I think he weighs like 150 or something like that. Like, he can put away food, and he would eat. He'd just smash it. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like, to do what I did tonight, I didn't eat all day. I had like, I stopped and got a shake or a smoothie from. Do you guys have Trop Cafe?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I went to Tropical Cafe after I got on my doctor's appointment today. I was like, I'm gonna treat myself because apparently I'm broken and old. So I got a Tropical Cafe smoothie, but that was all I had time for today. And so by the time 6 o'clock rolled around, I was starving, man. Like, I don't know. When my brother can do that 3 times a day, but you've seen him with a shirt off. The dude, like, he looks like I always like joke. I'm like, dude, you look like Ethiopia if it became like a human being.
It's funny because but he looks like Clark fucking Kent. He just walks around and I'm like, you fucking Forbes and Galley, fucking beautiful bastards. I'm kidding, by the way.
my wife claims, but like I'm always like, man, I'm just a meathead.
That's because we're 80s kids, dude. 80s kids are built different. We are not allowed to gloat about ourselves. We are not allowed
to have to be self-deprecating.
It's right. Of course, you tell me I'm good looking. Fuck you. All right, dude.
No,
you're a liar and a thief.
You would like. I think.
Don't you compliment me. Talk about the Baconator.
The Baconator. Mick's like, I want the Baconator. That's because you got that gummy.
I'm trying to do now.
Like, where's Mary? Mary,
I'm not an
Mary can't make a Baconator.
A lot.
Stat. So I think it's interesting to talk about that difference between the 80s and 90s. Like,
oh yeah.
So I am unapologetic as hell. I'll be honest about everything. I'll be self-deprecating, but I am unapologetic as hell. My brother is completely apologetic to the point where he's like constantly apologizing for like whatever. However, to contrast that, will never bash on himself. And so like I don't know if like is it better to be self-deprecating and constantly bashing on yourself? Or is it better to never bash on yourself, but also at the same time, like, always apologizing?
I don't know what's better. I think we're all individuals, so whatever works for us in the moment, because I think in thinking about it in that way, if that's a personality trait of who you are, there are other things that are unique about you that play into that.
It's so similar to other students I taught, because I taught his generation. So like it was a commonality I saw among a lot of his peers. This idea of, Mr. Khan, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why are you apologizing to me? I did not ask you to apologize for a second. There's nothing that needs to be apologized for. And like it's just this common thing I noticed for about 4 years. The first years I started teaching, and it was, my brother was graduating high school, all this stuff. I actually subbed for him once. That was kind of
Get the fuck out of here, really? I love that.
I did him. I did my cousin Derek.
Please tell me there's a picture of you in that classroom. Oh, that would have been amazing.
Dude, so back then I was so poor. I was so poor when I was subbing. I just graduated. Couldn't apologize.
Tim, come in. I'll give him.
Come on, dude.
Tim, you want the link?
I did. Yep.
Yeah, he said that. I'll give him the link.
I subbed. You know what was really weird? One of the weirdest things was I subbed, and my good friend's girlfriend was a senior because I had enough credits to sub. That was weird. Subbing for a woman who was at my friend's apartment every weekend, but she was still a high school student.
Wait.
So he's 23, dating an 18-year-old, right? Oh, and we mocked him relentlessly for this. It was actually the first.
Your friend was 23. Which one was your?
His girlfriend was 18. She was a senior in high school.
What are you doing to me, man?
Yep. And I'm subbing for the class, and this young lady had seen me on the weekends before at this man's house, doing what you do on the weekends at friends' houses in college.
All right. Here's what I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I find that very rude, and I know I tend to do it.
No, dude, you're fine.
But I have to address something.
Uh-oh.
I'm listening to you.
Yep.
I'm reading Tim's comment. and I cannot for the life of me think of where to send the link to.
Send it to us in chat. Send it to him in the chat.
No, I can't do it.
I have it. You want me to send it to him?
Anybody can get in. Then anybody who watches this.
Here, I'll send it to him. It's fine.
Oh. I have a phone. I can text him. Dude.
There you go.
This is Mick very at night.
I love it, dude. Getting in the weeds.
Oh, did you send it to him? Or you
I sent it to him.
I swear to God, I started getting real nervous because I'm like, wait, Dan's telling me a story and I'm not paying attention because I really can't figure out where to send this to.
Oh, you're good, man. So I'm in this classroom.
Wait, no, I got to point out to everybody. He's on all my social media and the text message. But please go ahead. You were in the classroom.
Yep, I'm in the classroom subbing. She's in the class. It's like some senior history class, and this young lady has seen me on the weekends. She's calling me Danny. No. She's calling me Danny in front of everybody.
Oh, there he is. Wait, why did I have to send you the link? You can get in.
Yes, I could just get in.
I was so confused.
My wife had the computer downstairs though, so it took me a second.
What's water? You were not drinking water earlier.
That is not water. This is it was Alex's cocktail while she was falling asleep. So this is grapefruit, and gin, and something else.
Clear liquor are for communists and women.
my wife made it, so this makes sense.
That's fair.
You know that quote though? I can't remember who said that quote. I can't remember.
It was Ron Swanson from.
Was it Ron Swanson? Okay. She's sitting in the front row calling me Danny constantly, and I was like, "You got to stop." Meanwhile, I'm 20. I'm 23. Like I don't know shit. I don't know shit about fuck. I'm like, you have to stop right because I'm thinking. And now as a 40-year-old who taught for 15 years, like I'm like, you're subbing. Nobody cares, dude. But like as a 23-year-old, I'm like, this is gonna define my like career. And I was like, you have to stop right now. And so I tried to send her to the office, and she's like, I seen the kind of girls you fuck. I'm not going anywhere. And I was like, and all the guys are like high-fiving me, and they're like, yeah. And I was like, all of you need to stop. And I was like, I'm never coming back here to stop. And they still brought me back all the time. They brought me back.
Where was this?
You remember Nate Sheldon, Timmy?
Yeah.
So his first baby mama.
Oh God.
When I started subbing,
baby. I hope not in high school.
And like, I ended up subbing for their class. It was for Quinlan's son. And I subbed for her history class, their senior history class. And like she outed everything. She was like, he goes with the skankiest skanks, and like started pulling out her phone. And I was like, you can't have your phone out. This is like 2003, 2004. It's like, you can't have your phone out. Like, oh, it was rough. Subbing was rough then because like I was like, But
that's why anyway. You will have brand new beautiful background graphics and titles by next week.
I like my title.
Well, no. Those are your title. Those are your title. That's whatever you type.
How did I even add that? I don't even remember adding that in. How did I add that in?
When you get in the room in the first thing.
Oh, I don't even remember adding it, but I just leave it there now.
Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
How was the little get together, Tim?
With Joe and me and Alex.
I thought other people were there.
No, it was just us. We drank at the porch.
Oh, that's not as fun.
I did show Joe BattleBots though.
BattleBots.
New BattleBots is like one of the best shows I've ever watched.
Yeah. My kids watch it. It is pretty good actually. It's a little more fierce. I dig it.
Well, not only that, but like the production value. Like they have Jenny Taft who does like college football. My one buddy's always like, Jenny Taft is doing this? What is this thing? And I'm like, dude, it's BattleBots. It's incredible. Steve.
Yeah.
He's like, Jenny Taft's in this? He's like, she's hot.
Tim wasn't in for the first part of the stream, so I got to put my hat back on.
Why?
Sorry. Were you saying something, Tim?
I don't know. Are you from Chicago? Have you ever lived in Chicago?
Hey,
He hates that I'm a Jordan fan so hard because like
Jordan
I would-
sucks.
tell him-
Literally
tell-
terrible.
you have to
are
tell
you
him
kidding
that
me?
he
Wait,
has
you do
no
not
right-
mean that, Tim.
No,
You do
I
not mean
100% mean it. I think Jordan is a crybaby and a terrible human being.
I mean, I don't care about that. He was a great basketball player.
Also, he got thrown out of basketball because he bet too much on his own sport.
Yeah, he was smart. He knew
No, he
was
wasn't.
I think he was pretty smart.
Yeah,
The only reason Jordan won any championships is because they changed the rules.
What did I tell you, Dan? What did I tell you? We were right before Tim came in. We were talking about it. 80s, difference between 80s and 90s.
Katie,
Katie, you want to come in? I'll send her the link.
I don't. Tim, you have to send.
I can send her the link.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tim, can you send? Can somebody who can maneuver in a fast way and who's
Mick does not have any
I'm
like
so glad
phalange
Tim-
dexterity right now.
I actually don't. I think I hurt my middle. I think it hurts a little bit. I can't. Like,
I've only had a couple cocktails.
I'm just stoned, dude.
Airport.
What? Oh.
What's at the airport, Katie?
I don't know. She's traveling somewhere, apparently.
Out or in?
Katie's not due for Michigan until September.
Oh, September.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Oh, we're going to show her Michigan. I'm going to give her the Grand Rapids experience.
We already talked about how Michiganders don't ask for any help ever. We poison our own people, and we're like, nah, we got it.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
We'll figure it out.
It's our water. We screwed it up. We'll fix it.
Dude, I have to say this. So, like, if you look at this in the stream, it looks like I dye my beard. Tim, I want you to verify right now I do not dye my beard.
It does look a little red.
Yeah,
Why?
I also don't dye my beard.
Yeah, I know, but like I don't dye shit. And like
I dye this.
color's
This
so
is all
different.
dyed.
Look how different the color
Yeah,
is.
right. That's
Like
too
there's
light to be
like
dyed.
a line right here.
Also, when did you start rocking the Caesar, dude?
Oh, I just didn't style my hair today.
You look like George Clooney circa 1995.
No, I was going to. Oh,
From
no.
like, no, from like here up, from here down, you look like what's that dude's name from Game of Thrones? He was also
Usually I get Andy from Parks and Rec.
Or are you talking about the dude with the beard?
Yeah, you look a lot like Andy too.
No, he's PC principal. Throw on the sun.
Do
you got the sunglasses, Dan?
Where's the PC principal? I have sunglasses. Are we putting on sunglasses? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What wrestler are you? From
He's
the
PC
90s?
principal. Hold on, I got this.
I'm so thankful Tim is here.
One of my students gave me PC principal when I 10 years in, they gave me a Lego set of PC principal. They were like, "Oh, dude, you look like I don't have it. I should go put on a polo, and then that would really sell it."
Don't worry, I got this, guys. I'm
Dude,
producing on the fly.
You ever guys ever watch that cult movie, The Principal, with Jim Belushi?
Oh, I love The Principal.
Right, dude. Fucking, that was such a El Principal on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Dude, that was fucking cool.
But I thought that was a ripoff of something else, wasn't it, Mick?
No, everybody compared it to it came out the same year as Lean on Me.
Oh God.
Where he goes in and he uses like strict ways to, which is based on a true story actually. That was the movie that made me afraid to ever want to go to high school. I was like, that's what this is, because it took place in New Jersey, and I was from Jersey. I'm like, no, I don't ever want to go to school.
You find it, Tim?
Yes, I'm working on it, team. Everything in StreamYard has to be converted to something else. I swear to God.
JPEG. JPEG works every time.
It didn't come out as a JPEG. He's PC principal.
Did John Cena start in an episode? Keep that. Oh my God. Can you please keep that in your file so that way you can put that up randomly while you smash?
Dude, you have the Lego set, grab it real quick.
I just snorted. That's how hard I'm laughing. I love it. Katie's laughing too.
Instead of me, I'm just gonna put this up for the rest of the stream.
Yes.
Dan in his office.
That's it. It's not that far off these days. I was actually wearing a blue polo today too.
I got a question for you guys.
Oh God.
And I think it's a fun one. What's a movie that you saw that you loved when you first saw it? You were like, this is a fucking masterpiece. It's going down as a movie that will never be forgotten. That like today, you're like, oh yeah, I think I'd watch that again. Like, and like you never really hear about it.
Well, I know one. I already have one in mind that you don't hear about anymore, but I still think it's a masterpiece. So one that I no longer think is a masterpiece.
One that was really big at the time. It's always like movies that are very like time capsule, right? Like Superbad. When Superbad came out, it was so good.
Oh yeah,
it was so relevant, and it was like it's very dear to me because it's very close to, it's like My American Pie, I guess.
Yeah, I was just gonna say American Pie was
that's
like
awesome, man.
So, but like if you watch it now, it feels dated. Whereas like old school doesn't, oddly enough. Like if you like want to compare it to another like comedy that didn't really like old school aged pretty well. Because I'm older and everything's so much more relevant. Like Mitchapalooza is hilarious.
Yeah. I think because we're growing into their ages from that movie, it's okay still.
Or like someone's like girlfriend comes over and they're like, and I'm holding a blow up doll and they're like, "Hi Frank, how's it going?" And I'm like, "It's going well." But we don't want Frank the Tank to come out again.
But Dan, actually, this makes me think of something pretty funny that what you said, like because American Pie is like our generation's Animal House, right? Things.
Yeah.
And Superbad.
Every generation has one.
Every generation has one.
Yeah, and so what makes me laugh is, and I want to see if Dan agrees, and I'm so glad you said that generated, that resonates with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I walked out of American Pie 2 going to college saying I was gonna have a threesome.
Yeah, I did. But I'm not talking about that right now. We'll talk about that.
Mary's watching, dude. You better watch it. You're gonna get
I have always been open with Mary. She knows. she's the one for me. So
probably because she could beat your ass.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, she can definitely beat my ass. She can catch me. I know that. I can't run. But anyway, the question was going to be, when I watched Superbad, when I saw it when it first came out, I saw it from the perspective of the cops.
I did too.
Yeah, right. Because the guys who
and I was already substitute teaching. Tim and I have a story about him getting into Superbad though. Tim and I have a story about him getting into Superbad.
Okay.
So,
no, it wasn't Superbad. It was Final Destination 3.
I swear it was Superbad, dude. I'm telling you.
No, it was Final Destination 3D. I saw Superbad in Ludington.
I thought it was Superbad.
No, it was Final Destination 3D. You can tell a story from there, but it was Final Destination 3D.
Oh, it doesn't apply anymore. I thought Adam Weaver wanted to see Superbad when I got back from LA.
No, it wasn't even Weaver. It was Dittmer.
It was Dittmer. So I got back from LA and I thought Dittmer wanted to see it then. Are you sure? I thought it was Adam. Man, to be fair, just this was 16 years ago. So don't work so good. Anyway, so the story, and I'll just tell the story just because it's a funny story. And my mom finds this abhorrent, by the way. My mom smacked me upside the head for this one. So Tim is visiting me in college, and it wasn't uncommon for him his sophomore, junior, and senior year to spend like a week with me. He'd come, stay for the week.
During the summer. This was
during the summer. Yeah,
during the school year.
Or anything. Unless it was spring break or something. Yeah. But so he comes and stays with me, and we want to go see Superbad. So we all go see Superbad. And
Final Destination 3D. But
Final Destination 3. And I just swear it was fucking Superbad. So we get in line, and we're going through, and it's rated R. And they won't let Tim in. They're like, no, he needs a parent or a guardian. I was like, I'm his guardian. This is my brother. And they were like, well, no, you're not his guardian. His parents are alive. And I said, no, our parents are dead. And I go full fucking send on it, right?
Straight face. I'm dying. I can't, like, I'm barely keeping it in. But I walked back with the other person, like, that we were with. I'm like, I gotta get away from the situation.
I was like, do I have to talk to somebody? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm really upset. I take care of my brother every day. I make sure he goes to school. And here you are telling me I can't take him to go see a movie. And I think he's perfectly capable of going to see. And like, my mom is like, when she heard this story, oh my God, she looked at me like I had crucified Jesus Christ. They were like, gonna say no, and I was like, you can go get your manager if you want. And I pulled a Karen on him, and finally they were just like, all right, just go with it. I had caused enough of a scene that they just let him go.
What Dan is failing to mention is that he also wrote notes in high school about how he watched me on my hospital bed because my mom couldn't, so he could get out of school. I never was in a hospital bed.
So
not one time.
Wait. Time out. No, Dan, you do not get to talk at this moment, because when I was telling my entire 3-day troll story, and you were like, I couldn't, that poor girl. Yeah, the only thing I can think of that really comes like this, and it was still
I
kind
didn't even
of
think
like,
about this, though. I didn't even think of it. But
you
there's
couldn't
no
tell that
where...
story. You couldn't tell that. You made little Timmy a thing up in Michigan.
Of course. Well,
little Timmy was in the hospital, and no one could stay with him, so Master Shake had to stay with him.
You troll the city like Ferris Bueller.
I wrote, so in 7th grade, Mick, the very first note that comes home in 7th grade, I brought 2 home. And I gave one to my mom, and I kept one for myself, right? So my mom signs it. From that moment on, all the way until midway through 11th grade, I forged her signature on every note, because I took her note, put it underneath mine, traced it, got really good at it, and every note that they had. So I had been, for my first 3 years of high school, to do whatever I wanted. I did whatever I wanted. So suddenly, I get about 2/3 of the way through my junior year, they call home because my dumbass was out of like ideas. And I was like, well, I stayed home with my brother because he was sick. So I call home. It was never sick, by the way. Yeah.
No, like never. I was like one of those kids that like never missed school.
I got to imagine, and I don't remember, but I have to imagine this was probably the 3rd time I had said that. For them to call home, right? Like, who repeats the same excuse 3 times in a row? What was I off doing? One of 3 things.
Crystal meth.
No. Skateboarding, drinking, or the other bad thing like that I don't want to talk about.
Not smoking cigarettes. Dan was not
never smoked cigarettes, never was really big into weed, so you can fit that other 3rd one in wherever you want to fit. But like,
there's not many other choices.
Where
would you like me to go with it?
Okay,
I call Heisenberg and see what he's doing.
I wasn't afraid to be a little promiscuous in high school. How about
no, that? He was breaking things.
Sometimes.
But yeah, I was breaking legs to get out of class. So
they call home, and my mom is like, my son is not sick. He's, at the time.
He's currently in school.
Currently in school. So they call her to the.
Hey, were you in the same school?
No, Tim was in elementary school.
Yeah, me and Dan are 8 years different, so there's quite a bit of separation.
They call her to school.
And different last names, so schools have trouble like lining it up.
Oh,
they pull the like folder, and they got all these like notes. And they open it up, and my mom starts going through them. So in the end, I feel like I won this, by the way, but in the end, I got 1 Saturday school for every note that I had forged. But I was dating.
This is key.
This is key. I was dating the girl that did. Like, she did her TA with Ed Harwood, who was our attendance officer. This old Marine vet. He was a sniper in Vietnam.
True.
I loved him. I used to go. What's weird, I'd skip and go he would tell stories to me.
Yeah, Harwood's cool, dude. No, I have nothing against Harwood.
Harwood's a great guy. But I was dating the girl that entered the absences for him third hour every day. So she knew when he would be there and when he wouldn't. So even though I probably had 50 Saturday schools, I changed it to 1.
Mick at Night.
Thank you very much, Ferris Bueller. I went in and I changed the number of Saturday schools I had in their system from whatever, like 50 or whatever, to 1. And I served 1 Saturday school, and that was it.
This is
And
true
then I
story.
turned around.
I can corroborate all these things.
I feel like this is the bigger scam. I turned around my senior year, and I just told them I was 17. I just told them. I was like, no, I'm 7. I told them I was 18, even though I was 17. And they just believed me. So I wrote notes for myself my entire senior year. Anytime I was gone, I would just turn in my absence slip. And like, on top of that, I had only registered because I was supposed to graduate at the end of my junior year. That's how I had scheduled my classes. I took all AP courses my junior year, like it was heavy scheduling, and I was going to graduate my junior year, and I was going to go to community college my senior year.
Nice.
Well, they made me come back. Mrs. Barbo, what's her first name, Tim? What's Don's wife's first name? It's like Sheila.
I didn't have Barbo.
Well, yeah. So
Adrian Barbeau.
I think it's Sheila. But so
Sheila.
I went in and I signed up for 3 courses the first semester and 4 courses the second semester, and said I would come back the next day with the rest of the classes. And I just never came back.
See, that's the problem. Like, this asshole gets away with this. I sneak out of the back door during a science class with a sub, and my principal sees me leaving. So we go and we grab slushies for everyone in class. We come back.
Like you do.
Like one does. And then I get yelled at the principal. He's like, "Why'd you leave class, Mr. Forbes?" And I was like, "I don't know. Felt like it." And luckily enough, I knew the guy, and I was relatively, I was a good student. So I didn't really get
away with a lot in Ludington if you're a good student. Yeah.
But even so, it was just like, he's like, "Why'd you leave your class?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm a senior. I felt like it."
I guess I could have brought that up, Megan. I didn't even think about it. Like, that's so long ago.
Well, it is important to the later story, because the reason why mom's so mad is because Dan's already used the Tim's sick excuse many times, or some family member has died many times.
So I was working at Fire Mountain.
This is a good one.
I was working at, you know what Fire Mountain is, Mick?
It's like a chain
Ponderosa or whatever.
Ponderosa steak
so I was
restaurant
the assistant manager, and I wanted to spend all of spring break with my brother playing video games.
Truth. Madden.
So I told them
a lot of Madden.
I had surgery on my knee. Okay. So I download a medical form from the internet, a PDF, and I edited the PDF with all the information, turned it in. They were like, "Okay, you're fine. You're off for the week." Well, I get paid on Friday, right? And I have to get my check.
You want to go in for his paycheck?
So I want my paycheck. You know, I wanted my paycheck. So
dude throws out a knee brace.
When I was in high school, I did hurt my knee. So I take the knee brace out of my closet, put it on my leg, walk in with the knee brace on like I had surgery, collected my paycheck, and then walked right back out.
Again, a true story. All of these
Mick,
are.
You ever? So I did. This is why I think it's different. Mick, have you ever seen that movie Slackers?
Yeah.
Hide in Plain Sight. I loved the movie Slackers, man. I loved that movie. We are commercial airline pilots. And they're like, no. And they're like, no. We are commercial airline pirates. And they're like, ha, ha, ha. Like, dude, I loved Slackers so much, and I got a lot of ideas from that, I think.
Well, it's not. It's in the family though too, right? Because remember when Mom and Dad went to Hawaii and Dad had the NBC polo for no reason whatsoever, and he used that to get into things. Are you part of NBC? He's like, yeah, I'm part of NBC.
My grandpa told me this story once. He looked when he was younger than me. So he was in his 20s. Apparently, he was a dead ringer for a Ford. like a dead ringer.
Like Harrison Ford or
No,
Gerald
No, like
Ford?
Ford Motor Company.
Ford Motor Company. And he had a cousin who worked for him.
Wait,
So,
what do you mean dead ringer for Ford? Like one of them?
like Henry
Yeah, like one
Ford,
of their
like
kids.
Henry Ford, like that level. So
Do you understand? Like it went from all these different Fords I'm thinking about to you said no, like a Ford, and I'm like, are you talking about he looks like a car?
no, and so like
Nick, we live in Michigan. There's only one Ford.
yeah, it's for us when we say Ford, we know. So he was a dead ringer for one of Henry Ford's
I've
kids.
worked in the glass house. I've been there.
He's a dead ringer for one of the Henry Fords, or one of Henry Ford's kids.
Gotcha.
And he had a cousin who worked for them in the same, like basically the same offices that Tim worked in. And so they're at a party and they started calling him his name. And my grandpa just let them start calling him his name. So he spent the entire night like getting high rollered everywhere in that building. And so I guess like it's.
I wish. People talk about the other companies all the time, but there is only one.
Yeah, can I just say? I guess I've always wondered if certain things, like like when we thought of Ford, I thought of like Harrison Ford or Gerald Ford, and you were talking about Ford Motor Company and Henry Ford, and understandably because of Michigan and all the legacy behind it. But I've always wondered if that's like a geographical thing, like.
Probably is.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I know the name DeVos, right? And I know some people nationally know it now because of a terrible presidency, but before that, it was just us. And Orlando, Florida, because they own the Magic.
Yeah,
like Chris Christie from Jersey. No, everybody knows that fucker.
But like I know the like you don't know the Weggy family, but the Weggy family is royalty in Grand Rapids, right?
Yeah.
Like they own Steelcase, which the company I work for a period of time, and they're huge donors throughout the entire city of Grand Rapids, and their names on a ton of stuff. Meyer, the Meyer grocery
family,
stores.
Yeah.
The Meyer family sponsors things all over the city and all over the state. So it really is geographical. I'm sure
who owns the Cavs, Tim? It's
Oh, you got to talk about the guy who owns Rocket.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't remember. He's from Detroit.
In the southeastern part of Michigan too. He's really well known.
Yeah. So I mean, like we have our wealthy families in Michigan, just like any state does, and I'm sure there are some states where an entire individual.
You would name some stuff in Virginia that's specific to you that we would have completely different association with.
Yeah.
But you know what? Well, it's weird because nationally, there's things about Virginia that are associated with we associate here in Virginia that I think you guys would know if you were more on the political side. Because
Moth Monster Man.
Which one?
Moth Monster Man.
No, that's West Virginia. Mothman's in West Virginia.
I thought it was Virginia. It's West Virginia.
No,
same for me. Listen, they should have been one state, and had it not been for the 3-4 or 3/5 compromise, it would have never been its own state anyway. So,
hey, fuck them. They can stay over there with their Mothmans. I'll stay here. I'll stay here where fucking John Denver was really singing about.
So, okay, what?
You want to go to war with
West
West
Virginia has the devil. West Virginia has the Mothman. Michigan has Dogman.
Dogman.
What does Virginia have?
Hold on.
I don't know. Are you looking it up, Tim?
No, I was looking up Dogman.
Oh,
I'm
looking up what?
But like,
what?
Virginia's an original colony, though. I mean, like,
and you guys have to have like, what is it, like Patriot Man or something like that? Like on a quiet Tuesday night, somebody waves an American flag in the woods, and you can hear it. Like,
what is Virginia?
And Robert E. Lee.
Weird thing.
You do have
Tim, you weren't on yet, but I nerded out for a second. He asked if I could have any job, any time period. I said Secretary of State in 1791.
Now, Tim, before you answer this, okay, because there's two parts to the question. But first, before you answer it, can I guess what you might want to be?
Me?
Yeah.
Can I say my current position?
That's what you'd want? Anytime, any place?
Dude, I don't know, man. My job right now is pretty good.
Hey, that's awesome.
You wouldn't want it.
I fucking love that answer.
You wanted.
I mean, I don't know. Like, there's people I'd want to meet, and there's probably things and like
You wouldn't want to shape the policy of our country in 1791.
Sounds like a lot of work, dude. Alexander Hamilton got shot.
You wouldn't want to be a comedian in the 70s doing cocaine?
Yeah, Nick said comedian in the 70s.
I mean, that'd be fun. The 80s look like a good time. Like, could I be Matthew Broderick? That'd be pretty fucking sick. Outside of killing someone.
You could say
yeah.
movies.
Don't forget the drunk driving with Jennifer Grey.
Yeah, see, I'm just not going to drunk drive, and I'm just going to date Jennifer Grey and, like, have a great time. I'm completely cool with that.
Don't forget, you have to not recommend she get that nose job.
And and save the nose, because Jennifer Grey's nose was amazing, and the fact that it's gone makes me so sad.
You ever read something about her and Patrick Swayze, though? It makes me so sad to know that they weren't actually friends.
They were, though. They just didn't get along on the first part of Wolverines.
Yeah, I thought both movies they didn't get along.
No, they became friends through Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
By the end of it, they were friendly.
But the scene where he throws her arm like back, or the arm back or whatever, and she's like laughing, it's because he was like tickling her, and like he got so pissed during that scene because she kept fucking it up, but they kept it because it was so like
natural.
Yeah, they were. Leah Thompson said that on I Love the 80s when they talked about Dirty Dancing, and she was like, I don't know how they did that movie together. They hated each other.
That's what I thought. I thought they hated each other.
No, they ended up being relatively good friends after. But another great family story. My mother met Patrick Swayze at a horse show in Michigan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Said he was the nicest guy she ever met.
I believe
even nicer than Floyd?
She met Floyd Mayweather in Grand Rapids twice.
My mom danced with Floyd Mayweather.
In Grand Rapids.
Is he nice?
He was nice to her.
That's good.
She got invited to the limo, and Big Tim said no.
Said that's not a good idea.
He said he was fine to hang out and like kind of make sure nothing bad happened. And she kind of, if you met my mom, you know she could kind of like get along with anyone. Yeah. But
I believe it. You guys are like that.
When it came to going into the limo, Big Tim put a stop to it.
That's where Big Tim called it Drew.
But no, I mean Floyd Mayweather used to party in the Bob in Grand Rapids all the time. He would just come home and like just throw money around and sit in bottle service at one of, it's like club. We don't have clubs in Michigan. We just have clubs.
We just hang out in snowbanks.
Basically. Breweries are so much better than clubs anyways. Who cares?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Well, okay, so all right. I liked your answer about saying, because that means you're.
I don't like that at all. I think it's a cop out.
No, I mean, like, there are things like, okay, so like, I don't know.
Man,
like when I was a kid.
Good answer though. I didn't even think about that. He was a god.
When I was a kid,
back in the 80s. Oh my god.
Yeah, like if I could be Ferris Bueller, that'd be pretty sick. Yeah. But like, I don't know. I want to be middle linebacker for the Lions for a long time.
Okay.
Never mind, you were built like a string bean.
But I was built like a string bean, but I played linebacker, and I love.
That's not your fault. I tried to talk them out of that.
But I like Stephen Boyd, and I loved Spielman, so it was like I had this like romanticism for that like level of like play.
Yeah.
I was a huge Lions fan, and when I was a kid, so I guess when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a pro football player or a singer, and I could do neither.
That's not our fault. We didn't inherit any singing ability anyway. You've heard our parents say.
Or artistic ability whatsoever.
No, can't draw a damn thing.
I can't draw shit.
No. Yeah, I don't have that shit.
But I can put numbers together and tell you how they work.
I will say this. Mick mentioning this stuff. Mick, have you ever read Ready Player One?
Yes. Oh my god, I love that.
So everything he's saying, like, God, why do I? So I feel like we're on the cusp. Right now,
I know exactly what you mean right now,
and I would do that. Oh my god, if that were real, I know that's supposed to be dystopian, but like if I could do flick syncs where I get to be Matthew Broderick in War Games.
No, so that's Ready Player 2.
But Flick Sinks exists in the first one.
No, it doesn't. Oh,
Yeah,
it starts to.
Yeah,
That's right. Because he gets because he does War Games.
He does War Games, and he does doesn't he also do
I thought he did.
Holy Grail.
the Holy Grail?
Yeah, he does Holy Grail too.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if that existed, y'all would probably never see me again.
that's fair, man.
I'm
you
sorry.
War
I'm
Games,
sorry.
though, that's the one you choose.
like that. So how about that? That's a good question.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into it. Let's
What
do that.
dystopia would you willingly sign up for?
Oh.
Brave New World in a second.
Yeah, we've had this conversation. You can have Brave New World.
Brave New World's a utopia. It's not a dystopia.
The two of us are holding a drink in the Dominican Republic, arguing about Brave New World like a couple of nerds, and having the time of our lives doing it.
That's the best times.
Oh,
it's like
great.
you said earlier when you sang with your buddies. Like I remember when I was in college and we would hang out all night long, listening to blues music until the sun came up.
Right?
It's the shit that's just fun. It's amazing.
Tim would choose Brave New World because he loves the idea of a comatose public.
No, I love the idea of everything in its place. Everyone is so upset.
Nobody's going to put me in their place. I'll be John the Savage the day till I die.
Okay, so you're going to fucking flail yourself and and put mustard seeds on it?
Yep. Rather than sign up for that stuff? Yeah.
So many people in this world are so discontent because they have no idea where they fit in it, and that literally just gives you everything. It's just like, you are this person and you do this.
Like, where's my piece of cheese?
The best part about that book, though, too, like every other dystopian book has like kind of like, if not a upbeat end, it's like there's something else that could happen.
I don't know, dude. At the end of Fahrenheit 451, don't forget they nuked the world.
But there is still the individuals who have the knowledge. They're still wanderers.
But you said it basically a utopia. So it doesn't have to be a dystopian, or
has to be a dystopia. Has to be a dystopia. You don't
have to be a dystopia.
No,
but like Brave New World is written as a dystopia, but if you look at it, it's unescapable. Like there's the portion where they try to like create this whole entire like rebellion, and he's like, and the guy who like runs the world, he's like, dude, he's like, are you kidding me? He's like, you think those people can run in a rebellion? He's like, I just spray this and they all go away. And then they just make all of the like rebels like disappear, and they're like, you go live on a rock. Like we're still just gonna do what we're gonna do, and it ends, and then the book's over.
I'd be on a rock. They'd ship me off to an island.
See, that's what I like. I like movies where the real end happens, where it's like, you know what? Evil wins. Good luck.
Listen, a little too gummied up.
Mixing the tank, dude.
Mixing the tank. I'm only on beer 4, so like I feel bad.
Listen, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying this conversation.
Oh, we can take it down.
Let's go to a more. Let's go back to I want to be Michael J. Fox. I want to be the smallest actor in Hollywood in the 80s.
You got something like Ready Player One, Blade Runner, Brave New World.
I am blown away that Brave New World has never been able to make a successful film or TV show. The TV show bombed.
I didn't know it was a TV show.
Fahrenheit
451, Player Piano, which is one of my personal favorites.
Again, another dystopian novel that couldn't.
Katie, that's what is it, like Wednesday?
But like Fahrenheit 451 is another, like, it seems like it could be a cinematic thing, but it never worked.
Now
take over. I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Michael B. Jordan did a Fahrenheit 451 that was successful, I thought.
The most recent one?
Yeah. Isn't that Michael B. Jordan?
Oh, you have it on your Amazon, don't you?
Yeah.
I have never watched that one.
I mean, I didn't. It was okay, but it's still better than like. I like this question though, because like we're living in a dystopia anyway, and our dystopia is potentially like the worst version of it.
Well, yeah, because it's a combo of all of them, and
it's just all of them, right? Like, so we have this weird mishmash.
Depression, like fitting things like a system that just basically churns out the same people over and over again. You have player piano, where machines are doing the jobs of things that people did before,
100%.
and everyone just works in road construction.
Yep, the Reeks and Rex, dude.
Good lord, why do I know all these books? What is the point of this?
You're smart, but like it. I don't know. I think it's a good question because, like, if you could choose, like I said, I think it.
I would 100%. If I'm choosing dystopia, it's 100% Brave New World because everything works and everyone just gets high.
I like Ready Player One because you get to escape to a far better world. Like that's and everybody has.
But in Brave New World, everyone's already happy.
I'd be way happier in their world than I would in Brave New World because I don't want to be drugged up, man. Like,
well, you don't have to be if you're an alpha.
Yeah, but every average person's just going to be not.
Oh, yeah, betas are fine.
But I'd be like John the Savage, I didn't like
John the Savage. Well, you had to go find John the Savage though. John the Savage didn't exist in society.
I mean, like, you know how many students have been like, we got to go find Gowl and get some wisdom. Like, people will come find my ass.
Dude, John the Savage is by far my least favorite part of that book. I would repeat
the most discontent character.
It's so boring. Like I don't care about the Savage Society. All I care about is hearing more about how they've made what they did and how it works.
Yeah, what's interesting, you look at Ready Player One, and the whole point is don't rebel because like it's not worth it because you're just going to wind up in the same place anyway. Yes. That's why like Ready Player One's so brilliant because it's like you get to the end of the book and you're like, man, if he had just continued what he was doing with his like real mediocre life, he would have been fine.
Well, he could also just have turned off the machine.
Yeah, but so they turn off all the machines, but then the first thing they do is get thirsty.
Mad Max. Well,
you have literally mixed three books together.
Max, can you see Mick with like a mask and be like, just walk away?
No, Dan, you just compared Ready Player One to Player Piano because they're so close together.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The Orange-O machine.
The Orange-O machine. But so Ready Player One, I love that idea, that concept, in large part because even like, and they don't acknowledge it in either book. The people who get to live the fantasy get to live the fantasy.
But the question is okay, no one ever talks about copyright law in Ready Player One.
No, they didn't. Gregarious Games just bought everybody's copy. Like,
yeah, what is it? It's Disney. Basically, they're gonna do.
It'd be like Gregarious Games would be like Google, Amazon, Disney, and Warner Brothers all wrapped into one.
Yeah, and who knows what will happen one day?
Time Warner. It would be Time Warner.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh yeah, all '80s games are now just available because copyright law, and it's like,
don't forget,
no.
The conclusion of the two books, you get to be immortal.
No, it's not. It's a downloaded version of your consciousness that you are no longer in control of gets to live out its life in a virtual world.
Yep, that's immortality.
Oh yeah, but that's not its life then. It's just immortality.
Yeah, it's just the Matrix.
Okay.
It just sucks.
And I'm telling you right now, like if somebody was like, here's the real world, if I were in the Matrix and they told me what the real world was like, I'd be like, hell no.
In fairness, Zion kind of blows.
Zion blows. It's super
I have no interest in going to Zion.
Zion is super religious. It looks like it's really hot.
And uncomfortable.
There's no sunlight. There's no sunlight ever.
Because they live underground.
But
somehow people are tan.
Somehow.
And raving.
Like,
where do they make their food?
I was going to say it when Mick said earlier, a movie that I saw when I thought it was like the best movie ever. And now I watch and I'm like, I'm not. The Matrix. That was my pick.
But it's so important. It's so important to what existed.
VR wise and what it did, it's important. If you watch it now, it is not a good movie.
No, yeah, no. I mean, it's dated for sure. But I mean, so I can look past that.
Katie's not wrong about that, Mick.
What?
Gregarious Games accepts you are free. I mean, are you free? Because you're like literally everyone lives off the government.
No, I have
But
to
like
read
they never. Here's my problem with that writer.
Wait,
He never. Nothing about Ready Player One makes any goddamn sense.
He doesn't have to.
I was on no. I'm only on the second sentence.
Mick, this is what happens when I also have control of StreamYard.
Click, 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 click.
No, you're a good producer.
Tim could make Mick right
if
now.
I could afford you, I would hire you. Trust me.
Tim, you can make Mick right now.
Okay.
I would never make Mick.
Thank you. You don't have to say it. You can.
Where else are you gonna go? There is nowhere else. It is
That
literally just.
No, so if you know, here's the problem though, Katie, is like I don't want to be. I don't know. Because I'm also a stubborn bastard, so I do kind of like the idea of rebellion. So there's that.
But in that world too, we asked, like our ancestors asked for this to happen. You know, that's why we're in those pods, and it keeps continuing. So, like,
wait, which movie establishes that? Is that 3 or 4?
No, it's the Animatrix? No,
so. No. Oh, it was the offshoot. It was Animatrix
and 2 both, because 2 is the one with the director. Remember, he meets.
Well, the director just explains the purpose of the one, and that he's a continuation of an anomaly.
Yep, and
but
Animatrix is the one that says Mick's right. He tells the whole story of the war.
Yeah, and then they finally realize, like,
now the Animatrix holds up.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Have you guys watched Love? What's it called?
Good.
Love, Sex and Robots, or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about the miniseries?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's depressing as fuck. I don't like it.
I love it. I think it's so good.
It's like, you got to be in a mood though, Dan.
It's like people are like, "Oh, I want to watch Black Mirror." I'm like, I can just walk out my door and I see Black Mirror.
I don't want to go to a fall festival after watching that. All right, like it's not like the next day I'm gonna wake up and be like, you know what? I need to get out, get a pumpkin spice latte, fucking put on my vest. And
I want to put on a headset right now and drive a DeLorean and look like Han Solo, all while playing games. I'm still stuck in that mode, man.
You're literally just describing Fortnite. Go play Fortnite.
But it's not the same because I want immersion, Timmy. That's my problem. Like, so I literally.
It is a bomb.
Yeah, it is. Katie's right.
I think
Animatrix like a motherfucker.
Good anime holds up.
You know what's the bomb though? Phantoms.
Phantoms like a motherfucker.
I'm a Phantoms, bro.
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
Dude, you guys should come to Jersey. They're having some big thing, some Clerks get together.
I took Dan to a Clerks get together, and he was bald.
Are you a Clerks fan too?
I love it. I did so, Mick. I had to go see Clerks 3 immediately. 5 days, Tim? After I had to go to the hospital for my heart.
Yeah, it was very on the nose.
It was a little too on the nose. Like that whole movie was a little too on the nose for me. I had to at one point I stepped out because I was like, I just got to step away for a second and gather myself, because I was like, here are my icons on the stage talking about the thing that just happened to me last week. And it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
Dude,
I haven't watched the movie since, Tim. It's free on streaming right now. I can't watch the movie again.
I don't know if it's rewatchable as 1 and 2.
It is not
fun. It's just not fun.
Well, it's beautiful though.
It's a really well-made film, and it wraps everything really well.
Yeah.
So for me, the crazy part about that, this isn't a story top or anything. Like, it's like a commiseration or like a connection in it, if you will. So you just kind of sparked this memory of Clerks 3 for me. Clerks has always been and Kevin Smith, he was the big director to get out from where I was from. So that was always a big deal. So, and he did it independently, and it was cool. And I was watching it as a teenager happen, wanting to be a filmmaker. So Clerks was a big movie for me because I was what I was at that time. Clerks 2, even more so. And it was my best friends who I met when that came out Lenny, I think you guys might remember.
I remember, yeah.
And so he sorry. We were like that first movie, that was a big movie for us because he wanted to be a filmmaker too. Fast forward, Clerks 2 comes out. I'm away at film school, and he's home. He went the route of getting married and stuff, but we always like kept in contact, and he was always asking and stuff like that. So that movie with him, and I was in Florida in film school, so the fact that like Dante was going to move to Florida. Yeah. And like just that, it was like that weird correlation because like after we both watched the movie, we were talking about it, and like it was just connection there. And then the third one to come out after he died, it was just like that was like, oh my
spoilers.
God. Yeah.
Clerks 3 spoilers.
You know what other movie was like that, Mick, that didn't get heralded? Without a Paddle.
Oh my God, dude. That is one of the best dude movies.
I don't understand why that movie gets panned. There's nothing wrong with it.
I think
Without a Paddle, I watched that and immediately had to call all my old friends from high school.
I'm pretty sure also I'd watch those three actors like paint a wall.
Oh, I mean,
and I'd have a great time. Like Dak, Seth, and Lillard. Like,
oh my God,
what more do I need?
Dude,
believable together. They were so believable together as friends.
I wish they still were doing stuff together.
Yeah.
Do a TV show together because they had such a good rapport, all three of them.
That was a fun movie. I have no idea why people didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe they marketed it wrong or something, Tim. I don't know. Like,
dude, so let me ask you this. Like, I think because we're all like we're cinephiles. We all love our movies and such.
I'd call myself like an amateur, but yeah.
Nah, we're all in it to win it. So, for the love of it. But, like, was there ever points in your life where, like, for me, movies were such a big deal that, like, it's a little bit embarrassing. It's like you'd emulate certain things, like, in characters.
I'm sorry.
Crazy. Not crazy, just, like, kind of like, Ferris Bueller was cool, so, like, in high school, you want to be like Ferris Bueller.
What's right?
I based a lot of my personality on Boy Meets World. Like a lot of it.
Yeah, I could see
that. Two characters. One, Leonardo DiCaprio in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah. What, so you're just sad all the time?
Oh, like sad. Like Rollins calls it out too. He's like, I'm alone. I'm an enigma. No one knows me. Please fuck me. Like that's 100%. And then the other one by far, and to contrast Boy Meets World, The Wonder Years. I wanted to be. Is it Ben Savage that's in The Wonder Years? Is that the one?
Yeah, it's the younger one.
The younger one or the older one?
Older one, yeah.
Yeah, it's Ben, right, Mick?
Fred is the older.
Fred's the older, yeah. Mick,
okay,
Ben's
so
the younger.
That's his character in The Wonder Years, like 100%. Like those two characters, like. As I was growing up, I watched every episode of The Wonder Years as I was growing up. I remember watching the finale. I want to say I was like maybe 11 or 12, maybe younger, but I think I was about 11, and just like bawling my eyes out because he and Winnie weren't going to end up together.
Really? That I kind of like that they didn't end up together.
Oh, I wanted it so because like I was like, I wanted to find Winnie Cooper. And then when I transferred into middle school, I watched Clueless and MTV's Romeo and Juliet.
And My So-Called Life.
My So-Called Life. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be Jordan Catalano. I wanted to look like Leonardo DiCaprio in Romeo and Juliet. And I wanted to date Alicia Silverstone in Clueless. I wanted.
Well, don't aim too high.
Yeah, no shit. Like that's so. I mean, yeah, Mick. I mean, like we were raised by television. We were raised by television.
Well, cinephiles always have like some weird reason why they've watched a lot of movies, right?
Oh,
well, yeah. For me, it was like, and Dan escaped a little bit of this, but like for me, like my parents had a cabin and we would go, and they had HBO. So I'd go to this cabin every weekend by myself with my mom and dad, and I would sit and either play PlayStation 1 or 2 or watch movies on HBO.
Sometimes
So
do
like
both at the same time.
But like I watched so many movies because that was what I had. I had the movie channel and I had the woods. Like it was like I could only spend so much time in the river. Like you only hunt so much.
Yeah, we would, whenever we would be stuck out there, we would just play the movie game, and it would go on for hours.
Oh my god!
And they would just keep trying to get me, and just like, nah, ain't shit gonna happen. Get this shit out of here.
I'm trying to think, like, I feel like I watch like stupid movies too. Like I think I've seen 2 Weeks Notice like 30 times.
100. What is it called? 100 Girls, Tim.
100 Girls is one of yours. Yeah.
100 Girls. That was early streaming too. It was on Netflix.
It was on the old Netflix.
Yeah. First movies on. I was an early adopter for streaming Netflix. I was like, this is the future, man. My friends are like, why do you have streaming Netflix? There aren't any movies on it. And I was like, no. This is what it's going to be. And the only movie we'd watch is 100 Cigarettes and or 100 Girls. And it's the lamest like copycat of American Pie ever. I mean,
no, it's not. It's got a completely different premise.
I don't know, man.
I like 100 Girls. Also, early Katherine Heigl.
It is early Katherine.
Early lesbian Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, she plays like a really like militant lesbian, and like she beats the protagonist in
Foosball.
Foosball. That's what it is. Foosball.
Jamie Presley is also in that movie.
Jamie Presley's in the movie,
and she wears cellulite legs because they make her legs like buff, and so she can kickbox.
Yep.
See, I know this movie. I know.
Who would you be, Mick?
Fuck, I'm trying to think. I don't know. You got so much good things.
Well, I mean, we made movies too. Like I
never made any movies.
We filmed an entire feature film my junior year of high school, where I designed a couch that could float in Lake Michigan. And the whole thing was like a zombie movie. I played this doctor. His name was Dr. Giggles. And the only way
every second of it.
No, the only way he talked was through a Mac. Remember text to speech in the old Macs?
No. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You had a bunch of different voices you could drop down and you could text, but the voices were all really, really bad. And so it was old robot voices, and I couldn't talk. And so all my lines were through this Mac, but we couldn't pick up the audio very well. So we had to dub over after re-recording all of the lines. And it was like, you could see me typing in the shot, and then the audio would come across and it wouldn't match up the letters on the screen at all. And like, it was so bad. We spent so much money on the one shot. We went and bought.
Go buy a tape recorder. It's so much easier.
Dude, we did everything with computers. That was the other part. It was like, oh, we're ahead of the game. We're going to use digital. We're going to edit it using digital stuff. So we go and get machetes. And we did this whole shot out at the Ludington State Park where we were dragging these machetes along the ground, but the sparks didn't come off enough. So we spent hours editing flames coming off the end of the like machetes as we were swiping them back and forth. Oh, I gotta mute this tab. Hold on. Somebody jumped into the Midnight Marathon.
Oh, where's he showing? I'll put it. What?
They're just playing ads right now.
The only movie I've ever made was I had a mini of the Death Star, and I played Death Star scenes out on that. And then there is somewhere in the catacombs of Mr. Hamilton's videos, there's a Midsummer's Night's Dream with me and two other guys filming a scene. I have no idea where that is.
Be here, Tim.
Be here now.
Deadpool would be in Free Guys. That's not bad. Free Guys, but isn't it like?
That's a good choice.
Isn't it basically Grand Theft Auto, if I remember right?
Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess
the movie was made past 2010. It's not a horror film. I don't think I've seen it. I'm being honest. God, I'm so bad these days.
Ari
about
Aster didn't direct it. Tim
Free Guy was a good movie. It has Ryan Reynolds in it. He does a great job. And I mean, Dadpool's right. That is like dystopian. I mean, it's almost it's basically our world. So yeah, it is dystopian.
No, the best dystopian world is actually when Dave Chappelle goes to the internet. Ron Jeremy, I got my swing from you, man. I'm good. Good with the porn. It's all natural.
Spam busters, bitch.
Spam busters. Sure. Man, if the internet was a real place, it'd be so gross.
Oh my God. But so here's what's weird. I know Chappelle gets like lauded for that sketch. Futurama did it 2 years before him.
Everyone's done something before someone else.
The Simpsons did it before everybody.
I don't think The Simpsons did the internet before Futurama, though.
Oh, yes, they did. Oh, yes, they did.
I'm sure there's a Treehouse of Horror that you haven't seen.
Maybe. I haven't seen every episode. I've seen every episode of Futurama probably like 20 times. But
sleeping to Futurama doesn't mean you've watched it.
Wait.
No, I've seen it at least 20 times. Don't forget, like I've seen it. Who knows how many times it's been on? But I've seen every episode probably 20 times. It's so good.
Mick, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
This is a Mick question. Because, like, I know Dan and I are weird, and we, like, listen to, like, TV shows and shit when we go to bed. What do you and your wife listen to when you go to bed? Do you have, like, a white noise machine or a sleep machine or something? Or
just a fan.
Just the fan?
Yeah.
Do I listen? So, like, the reason why I know Ready Player One so well is because my wife, for a certain period of time, could only fall asleep to the dulcet tones of Will Wheaton.
Dude, that was why we wanted you to ask Will, like, about.
So, like, I've heard Ready Player One at least, like, the first, like, 6 chapters at least 130 times.
Ready Player One,
more.
Ready Player Two. What If?
What If is a good one.
What If 2? He narrated them all, and those are my like sleep books.
Will Wheaton is a great sleep book guy.
Wait. Is this what you guys do? You listen to smart shit before you go when you go to bed? When you go to sleep?
Yeah.
I put it on. I usually fall asleep in like 15 minutes, but like then I'll like wake up and I'll be like, oh, this is on.
I do like to go to sleep to Mick. Do you know the YouTube series Astrum? No. So I go to sleep to that a lot. I'm a subscriber to it on YouTube. Like I not just subscribe to it, but you know how you can pay for Astrum, and like that's a great science YouTube.
You know, it's actually a great book to fall asleep to, The Silmarillion, because it makes no goddamn sense.
It's the Bible. It's the Bible. You just have to read it like the Bible, Tim. It makes.
I don't want to read the Bible.
Me neither.
That's sick.
My kids
play the movies on repeat or what?
No. It's just there's so many of them. You can just keep going over and over, and they mix them up. There's so much fun, dude. It's so much fun since they started in July. My kid will come downstairs and just turn it on and watch it, and I'm like,
Dadpool, we were talking about Magic the Gathering earlier.
The Godzilla lands. I bought the Godzilla lands.
Oh, dude, I want to play you guys in like fucking Munchkins.
Munchkins a great time.
Yeah, I love Munchkins.
But before it was books, I used to have to sleep with the TV on because my parents slept with the TV on, so I got used to it.
Timmy, did you know that inside here was a foil Nissa that shapes the world too?
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew that.
But like, so when I was growing up, though, I used to fall asleep to Nick at Night, so I was like a huge fan of like.
That's it. I was talking about that earlier.
Mary Tyler Moore and whatever. But then when I got older, I liked watching movies. So like I used to watch The Night in the Roxbury and Waterboy on repeat. Like I just fall asleep to him every night.
Oh, what was the one? Is it John Dies at the End? No,
it wasn't John Dies. I don't know.
But it was like that. It was something like that you watched a lot. You also watched High School Musical. I'm trying to think of all the ones you had on your laptop.
Dude, that High School Musical jams.
Yeah. God. All I can remember about the John Dies at the End one, Tim, it was like this. There was a boy who had made 3 girls mad.
John Tucker Must Die.
John Tucker Must Die. That's what it is. and I'd never seen it. And Tim showed me it on his laptop, and I was like, "This movie's awesome."
I love that movie. That's an early Britney Snow movie too. Early Britney Snow.
No, man, I didn't like. But so, I mean,
I love trash films. There's so many romantic comedies that I'm a fan of.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh,
did I tell the story yet, Mick, about Miranda watching?
Did I just burp into the mic?
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I don't know what that's right now. Because this was on a podcast.
Somehow, my wife is not really like. Yes, Mary.
Yeah, she knows you. And Mary, that's Tim. And Tadpole Smith. This Britney Snow was great in Nip Tuck. Was she in Nip Tuck? I don't remember.
Yeah.
What season was
Britney Snow will do some pretty out there stuff.
Yeah,
she loved it.
I didn't watch Nip Tuck past the point where the little guy gets Paul. No. What's the name of the actor, Mick?
You know, and what? What?
The little guy from Game of Thrones.
Peter Dinklage?
Peter Dinklage.
He's going to be the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. So Peter Dinklage gets extensions in his legs, and that's when I stopped watching Nip Tuck. That's I was. That was the limit for me. I was like, oh my god, we have really, really jumped the shark. I almost stopped watching when.
That's not real. There's no way.
That was the jump the shark moment for me. But there's an episode where the two doctors single-handedly fight off like a serial murderer, and I almost stopped watching off that. But
is the jump the shark episode really that bad?
Yes.
In some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the actual Happy Days shark jumping.
It's a bad episode.
It's a bad episode. It's pretty rough.
Like, why is he doing what? Like, this is at that point. The guy who plays Fonzie, I mean, he's like almost 30. And
you leave Henry Winkler alone.
Henry Winkler's almost 30.
Like, Henry Winkler is a goddamn American treasure.
I love Henry Winkler.
They even covered him in bees in Little Nicky.
Oh, poor Henry.
Cover Henry Winkler again.
Jump the shark moments, Tim. I think that would be good to do, Mick. Like top 5 jump the shark moments.
Just go to every season 6 of every TV show ever, and the shark has been jumped. No TV series should last past season 5.
The worst in the history of TV is Arya Stark flying out of the darkness.
Oh, really? Out of all of television?
I think out of all of TV, because
not the entire last season of Lost. Not the entire second season of Heroes.
Because
yeah.
What about
Dan? No, we're going to have this out now. Well, Tim and I are here, and we're going to have ourselves.
Here's the thing. No matter what show you guys mention, it did not reach the hype of Game of Thrones.
Lost?
No, nowhere near.
I need to beg my wife, babe. Would you please bring me more water? I'm a little parched, and I need to come at Dan like a hellfire.
You're telling me Lost wasn't as big as Game of Thrones? Nope. You were out of your mind. You were out of your mind.
No way.
Wait. No. You cannot make a statement and then go to your next point. Your statement was a huge statement.
That's huge. Well, here's the thing.
Lost was
Game of Thrones, I think, more so than almost every other television show in history, had built up a fur for what? Think about it, like, it's coming. The snow is coming. The dragons are coming. All this, everything is coming, right? So the whole time we've been waiting to see what's coming across the wall. And the Night King is supposedly the ultimate challenge, all XXXX, right? To the point where the episode before is a great episode. And it is. If you watch it, it's a great episode. It's a pre-boss fight episode where all the heroes are sitting around shooting the shit like you would be in a video game right before the final boss. Then they wrap up the entire war with the North. in one episode. And Arya Stark is the one that jumps out of this. Arya Stark, who there's no build-up, there's no lead-up, there's no hint, there is no anything to say that Arya Stark is the person that's going to do this.
No, my wife is the best.
Yeah, I am.
Mary rules. Mary, jump on the show.
No, I don't want that one. I want you to take this one. I'm sorry.
But
First
like,
off,
you're
yeah.
also talking private television versus network television.
Yeah.
Sure, I think that Game of Thrones.
I can't come at you yet. I need a drink.
Game of Thrones,
I need a drink.
biggest following and fur of any show. And they let everybody, the beginning and the end happen the second. That's why it's jump the shark. That's the largest jump the shark in history. I've never seen a second of Grey's Anatomy.
Scrubs also did a musical episode.
Yeah, they did. And I would argue. Okay. This is great.
What's bigger than Arya Stark killing the Night King?
Well, at least that's like, but it's not a jumping the shark situation because it's still the plot progressing. Jumping the shark has to be something that's completely anonymous and completely doesn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
There was no backing for it.
It doesn't matter. It still progressed the story, though. Fonzie jumping the shark has nothing to do with Happy Days.
And everything has to go downhill after it.
It had to be a Stark, first of all, that killed it.
Please, I do not want to debate Game of Thrones. No, it's not going to happen. But
no, and that's a good point. I agree with that.
Game of Thrones never jumped the shark because it couldn't, because they literally did what the author said to do. He helped write the end.
And authors can jump the shark. It happens all the time.
But you can't jump the shark on your own TV show that's based on a book.
Sure. It like you can build up to something and then have something that makes no sense at all. None. There's
Dallas.
Nothing.
That's Dallas. I didn't watch a lot of Dallas.
I don't know anything about it. That's before my time, Dadpool.
What about like Roseanne losing like having amnesia? Like that's jumping the shark.
Yeah.
But that was the final episode.
No, it wasn't. They had a whole season where she won the lottery. It was a whole season.
I thought you were talking about the very final. The finale is Dan's dead, and then when they rebooted it, it turned out like that the whole thing was a dream.
I'm not talking about reboots 30 years later. I'm talking about the original TV show.
The shark is Arya Stark flying out of the darkness, killing the Night King with no explanation, with no support, with no build up, no anything. There was no reason for her to do it. It should have been.
There was a perfect reason, but I'm not allowed to debate it right now.
No, like the only person it could have been was the person that it was prophesied to be.
Oh my God, the champion Stark. She was the only champion Stark.
Jon Stark was he that will kill.
First of all,
the Night King. Stark. He was the representation
terrible
of the sun
New
god.
York Knicks player that I hated very much.
Dude, he's 100% tan. He's tan.
I think isn't he a yellow lab though?
No, he's tan.
What are we asking?
Is Pluto the dog yellow or tan?
I've seen pictures where he's yellow, but I would say on the cartoon.
Put up a picture, Mick.
Definitely.
Put a picture up of him.
100%. Yep.
I'll pull up a picture.
Yeah, thank you. Thank God for Tim tonight.
The Berenstain Bears.
Dude, you know what's funny? I'm going to a place called Dinosaur Land tomorrow. That's going to be pretty groovy.
Dude, I love dinos.
Yeah. It's like 5 miles down the road. It's awesome. I love living out in the country. They have so many roadside things.
I'm waiting for this because I really don't know. I thought he was supposed to be a yellow lab.
It's a blue dress. It's a white dress.
That is a tan dog.
That's a yellow dog.
That's tan.
That's like a golden yellow.
I find it. Yeah, there you go. You got it. That's a tan dog.
I'm sorry, man. That's not tan.
I disagree.
Hey, all right.
I have no idea. I can't. I don't have a firm statement.
Oh, Tim, I wish I could afford you. I would
Boo.
make you. I would, dude. If I swear to God, if Sirius or something is ever like, you know what, we like you, kid. We want to give you a show, and I'm like, all right, I'm like 10 years older than you, but whatever. And I got a show in there. I want you as my producer, and I probably still can't afford you, but I still want you.
No one can afford. I get paid pretty well, Mick. You can't afford me.
All right, fair enough.
You gotta make like $3 billion worth of office furniture a year.
I am interested to see Mick make a top 5 jump the shark moments, and at some point we have to talk about why Arya Stark is jumping the shark.
As long as it's not Game of Thrones, I will talk about like jumping the shark. I like that show's dead. It doesn't matter. It's gone.
That
I have never seen an IP die so quickly.
8.5 seasons were damn near perfect. 8.5 seasons of damn near perfect television.
When's the last time we had a Game of Thrones conversation outside of saying that it sucks?
It died that quickly.
2 years ago, or no, like before the season finale, like everyone would be like, "Oh my god, the Red Wedding! Oh my god, this! Oh my god, that!" Now it's like, nope.
It was so brilliant, and Game of Thrones was brilliant. And then the second she flew out of the darkness, everything went downhill after that.
Oh, dude, it was going downhill before that. Because...
Oh, Dan, please remove yourself from the room because I can't believe you said that Arya Stark. First of all, I can't believe you said it at all, but I really can't believe
it was a terrible moment and had no explanation.
Okay, but anything after season 4 of Dexter?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That was like a train wreck after train wreck. They almost made them fall in love.
I've never seen Dexter. That's why I say, like, you guys are like, you know, I call myself an amateur. Is like,
oh, Tim, let it go.
I can't because I was so invested. Mary, I was so it made me so mad.
You were more invested than me. I listened to all the books. I read all the books. I freaking listened to the podcast. I bought the beer. I bought the T-shirts.
I bought the whiskey. I bought. We both did. Remember, we did it together.
I'm sorry, me and my mom were arguing about this, and I want.
Oh my god! No season. So is it season 8 or season 9? Season 8 was the last season.
Yeah.
So 7.5 good. Season 7 was great. The opening of season 8 was great.
This is a funny graph.
This is the truth.
Accurate. But like, I would say like it's.
Hey, did you take over the driver's seat?
The last 6 episodes basically were really like, oh my god, we were so into it that like the last season, my friend and I, we bought a feast. So we both spent like $100 on meats and cheeses that were all like sea coast oriented because we thought it was that the last season was going to be all about the Sea Kingdom. And like, so it was all sea oriented. We had green cave cheese. Oh, we were like deep in the weeds, man. And like, what a letdown. And I liked Arya Stark too. That was the worst part. I thought they did her dirty with what they did.
Dan, I might have to make you if we keep talking about Game of Thrones.
Dan,
it's gotta go.
I'm not going to talk about Game of Thrones, Dan. Let me tell you something about something we were talking about earlier, okay, and what you just mentioned. So we were talking about envy, like when you envy your buddy, something that competitive or something.
Yep.
Tim, I think it was you, Tim. You sent a picture. I think it was like around Christmas time or something. You're having a get together, and you guys made it like a charcuterie board.
Oh, all the time.
It was in a group text. Was it you, Dan, or was it you, Tim, who did that?
We do it all. We both do it all the time. So
I saw it. And it looked so nice. I was like, I want to throw a football at you guys right now. I'm so mad that I can't like partake in any of that.
Live in Michigan.
I'm not moving to Michigan. I cannot. I don't sustain. I'm not a polar bear. I look like a polar bear. I'm not a polar bear.
Dude, I'm like the skinniest person on earth, and I can survive here.
You were bred there. It just happens.
I'm just a northern
You adjust
individual.
real quick, Mick. You just real quick.
Let's
I don't
say
know
that
what
we're
either of
gonna
those
say
things are.
that the two great shows that are,
I got Tim is surprised.
massively
Can I show Tim
underrated.
is surprised I got him today?
Oh God,
There you go.
surprises.
Oh, please tell me. And Tim, what do you think of Fringe? Because that's an offshoot of X-Files.
So I've only recently got into X-Files, so I don't really know.
Oh, your journey is going to be lovely.
The-
All three of them?
Ignore this part, but yeah.
So
Wait, part three is
what's
great.
what's the proper way to watch Karate Kid? Do you watch it 3-2 or 2-3?
I watch it in proper order. 1, 3, 2.
Because that's dude, that's sick. The monsters are great.
But I saw this
No,
and I was like, I have to get this for the next time Tim comes in my house.
no, it's 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Stop
All of
fighting me on
season
this.
1. All of season 1.
That is awesome. But you're ignoring me.
I don't know anything about Fringe.
I haven't watched Fringe.
No, not Fringe. Karate Kid. It's 1, 2, 3.
It's 1, 3, 2. That's what it was
No,
supposed
it's
to be.
1, 2, 3. Because what happens is because he goes to Japan with him because Ali broke up with him and his mother wanted him out because right before college to go no, and then he goes for the summer, just the summer. He was in Japan, yes he was, and then he comes back, and then that's 3 because
But
they're
they
coming
didn't
up
write
on
it
the
that
next.
way, Mick.
What do you mean? What do you
It's
mean
literally,
finish
so they didn't. So they wrote 3 as the sequel, but something happened. This is why Tim asked this question.
There is something around 2 and 3.
Something happened, so they had to come up with a script for 2 that wasn't 3, and then they shot 3. It was supposed to be 1, 3, 2. That was the intentional order of the series.
Okay.
That's why I would say 1, 3, 2.
But
I can't wait because this is every episode from season 1, Tim.
Does Cobra Kai retcon that at all though? I don't know.
They have all the characters. I don't know if
They have all the
I
characters.
haven't seen the latest season, Tim. Talk about Jump the Shark.
Oh my god, dude! When that kid went over that rail, that was Jump the Shark.
When they had the riot at the school, I was like, "What is even going on now?"
And everybody is still in that school.
And they just say that everything. The next season's just like, "Oh, everybody's in school. The kids in a
And
coma."
then they fight again. Dude,
This
they had
guy
a
just
riot.
gets to still teach kids.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah. What the that show, man? I love it though. The lunacy of that show. You know how some shows just go off the rails, and you're like, I'm with it all the way. Like,
I don't mind Full Send as long as they like. The problem with like what Jumping the Shark is when a TV show goes completely away from what it was in all ways, shapes, and forms and tries to do something completely different that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like and doing something that's well, I always thought that's what I always attributed like a Jump the Shark moments to.
Hey, I got something just for you.
Anything that happens out of the physics of what you've built within your world, you know, for however long. What is
the highlights of WrestleMania. That's WrestleMania 1, right? Is that the VHS? Yeah, it's the VHS. That's what I thought. I remember that one. We watched that one a lot.
I love it.
Depict that fabulous bear.
I remember that.
German cartoons is what it is. Made into one VHS.
Like you can tell, it's been watched. God, I did VHS. I didn't like.
Rip, dip, dippity dip. The big, fat, fabulous bear.
Oh my god.
My mom used to buy the weirdest shit.
Here's something you can't find.
What is it? What is it?
Oh,
what?
My Python 5. Well, you can find it online now, but
it's streamed now.
What is it?
Longest time.
What is it?
The My Python Live from the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, the Hollywood Bowl. Oh wow! Holy shit, man. That's
awesome. An original VHS too.
Right there.
That's fucking cool.
I can't get it like.
Nah, that's
There we
just
go.
too bright. The screen.
I have my VHS player set up now, so I can actually watch these things again.
Yeah, Mary just set ours up again. It's so
Whatever.
odd.
Speaking of like old cartoons, whatever happened to Deke? They were like this company that used to just bring everything over.
I don't know, Deke.
I don't know if I remember Deke.
Well,
Is that
Deke
like
was
a
the one.
Nickelodeon thing?
Deke was one of the ones that started bringing like Dragon Ball Z and stuff over too. That was some of the early Cartoon Network stuff they brought over.
Oh.
It was DIC. Because I was looking at Big Fat Fabulous Bear, and the Deke Kids was the one who brought it over.
I don't
Because it was a German cartoon they just made into a VHS.
We're really in the weeds.
I'm on the yeah.
I love it.
It's like 11:30 on a Friday. Where else would I be? Other than in the
That's
weeds.
where people belong.
That's true. All right.
You ready to call it, Mick?
I kind of want to watch fucking Miami Vice.
Miami basketball thing?
Okay, so the new Miami Vice or the old Miami Vice?
I think you need to
I'll watch either. I love them all, but the old. So okay, so here's the thing. So you know, on the Patreon we're doing the Totally Tubular podcast.
Alexa, living room to 100%.
And actually, I'll tell you, Tim, because I already told Dan, and he's already signed up with Miranda. They're going to come on because my wife is going to co-host it with them. And we're going to, it's just going to be 80s and 90s rewatch. And so basically, either if we don't have a guest, one of us will pick. And basically how it works is you can pick any movie from the 80s or 90s or any TV show. But you have to pick 3 episodes from that TV show. One of them has to be the pilot. And the other 2 can be any other one.
My first pick.
I love it. I can't wait.
30
which one? Who?
30 something.
Oh yes. I always remember
I remember watching it as a kid.
I remember it on. I didn't really watch it. I didn't know what was going on, and then I got to 30 and I was like, oh shit, man, that was a show about people.
So I mean, people have said, what was that new series that really took off? It was about multiple families on NBC.
Wait, what?
This wasn't Community. It's the one with Migliano, the guy from Gilmore Girls.
This Is Us.
This Is Us.
From what I hear, This Is Us was
fuck them Pearsons.
It was the spiritual successor to 30 something, is what I heard.
Fuck that. Then I don't want to watch 30.
Was it
no,
bad?
I will if you pick it. But that would be a good, fun conversation for the show, though. Fuck. I watched every season of This Is Us. I cried to tears and the bullshit, and then I washed my brainwashed mind was fixed, and I figured out these are 3 spoiled freaking kids whining and crying about their days that weren't really anything happening.
Well, that's what, like, if you've ever read, Holden Caulfield, Timmy.
No.
What's the name of the book?
Well, I'm going to give you a second because I want to plant this earworm with Mick.
1,000% remember. 1,000%.
Yeah, they brought over a bunch of stuff.
Whatever it was. Yep. Yeah. Everything. I remember that wholeheartedly. As soon as the window hit, I'm like, yep, I remember.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye. They said Catcher in the Rye.
It's like Catcher in the Rye. Like it. That kid is so soft. It never should have been a banned book. The only thing he does is swear, smoke cigarettes, and think about getting a prostitute. Like, that's what you're saying about This Is Us. That's exactly what I've always thought about Holden fucking Caulfield.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Holden McNeil.
Mick, do you have a digital copy of Dogma you can send me?
I think so.
I have a really bad DVD I bought used.
I should just have you bring it over.
Digital copy? No, I do have a DVD if you want it.
I can't find it anywhere, and my VHS copy it's totaled. It doesn't even work anymore.
No, I think I have.
You can find it on eBay for like $5 though.
Is it only? I thought it was like $20 out for DVD.
I'll just go through my DVDs, and when I find it, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I mean, unless like it's worth thousands of dollars, then you can't have it.
Oh, I thought it was $20 on eBay.
See, Mary's like, I think I have it too. We'll send you one of them. There you go.
So Dogma Special Edition right now is going for 16. Regular going for 12.
Actually, I might rebuy it again.
Oh, the
Blu-ray version.
There's only a limited run of it, though.
So the Blu-ray you can buy, the sealed Blu-ray is $100, though. The Blu-ray is expensive.
Yeah.
DVD's fine.
This is like when I bought, Dan, what's going to happen, as soon as you do this, you're going to buy this movie and you're going to pay a ton of money for it, and then it's going to go on Amazon streaming. The moment. I paid so much for a Blu-ray of Robot Jocks.
Like, I told you, just rip my VHS. I said, just rip it. My VHS copy is clean, too.
It is
so well. My VHS copy plays so well.
My limited edition, like, Shout Factory version of Robot Jocks cost me more than my entire collection of Universal Monsters. And that's an expensive set.
Got it on sale for $59.99.
That's how bad I wanted to watch Robot Jocks.
This is a brilliant movie.
It's the lost classic of what's his name? God, the director.
Castle Freak.
Yeah, he directed all those movies. God, or Reanimator.
Yeah. Who directed Reanimator, Mick?
Is it Bird Eye Gordon?
Gordon's his last name, I think.
Stuart Gordon. Huh?
Stuart
Gordon. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We asked Stuart Gordon, why did the robots have to go to space? And he said, you know what? Why didn't they want to go to space?
I want to see Joe Bob. I want to see Joe Bob do Robot Jocks.
Dude, yeah, that would be fun. Did you ever hear the commentary of Ben Affleck on Armageddon?
I haven't, no.
Oh,
I've only watched that movie one time, Mick. Do you remember how big that was? It was so big, and people wouldn't stop listening to the soundtrack, and I was like, this fucking sucks.
That was what I was talking about earlier when I said, like, that movie that you thought was going to be huge, and then, like, now you're like, hey, oh, yeah.
I hated it. I hated Armageddon from day
People always talk about this, right? Like, Twister won, like, an Academy Award, did it not?
Twister is still amazing. I will die on that.
I love Twister, dude.
I like the movie too, but like thinking about it as like the biggest film of the year.
1996 was a slow year in film. Look at it.
Well, 97 was much bigger.
96 was a slow year in film. Look at what came out in 96.
I don't know. I wouldn't say slow, but I would say it was.
What won Best Picture that year? I'm so curious.
But like, people loved that movie.
Braveheart. Come on. Braveheart won Best Picture.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these like.
I actually like Braveheart. I unironically like Mel Gibson films outside of the worst one.
Mick, you're gonna have to. Well, I'm gonna put.
I don't understand
why. Put this link in the chat. Like. Oh my god, dude! 96 was so bad. 96 was not a great year in film. Let's just put it that way.
Which one's that one?
So I'm trying to find Best Picture and I can't.
All right, because I'll bring this up, but I also have that Ben Affleck thing I want you guys to see.
Mick, Babe was nominated for Best Picture.
Babe's a good movie.
Babe is not an Academy Award-winning film.
Well, that'll do, Pig.
No. Okay. You want to talk about fuck 1996. You want to talk about the worst fucking? Oh, now I'm on rant. Thank you.
2003. Are you gonna say 2003?
No, I'm gonna say 1980 fucking 9.
Batman came out in 1989. Batman came out in 1989.
Yeah, I know.
So who cares
Lots of
anything
movies came out.
else?
Do the
Burton's
Right Thing
Batman
came
was
out in
1989.
1989. So many. And Driving Miss fucking Daisy won Best Picture that year. That's the biggest travesty, in my opinion, in movie history, barring all the sexual assault things and stuff like that. I meant like more towards the movie, like, oh, that movie's bad sort of thing. You know,
Listen to these
that's
Best
a
Picture
Star Wars
nominees.
basically now, but it's like the
Braveheart,
weirdest thing ever.
Apollo 13, Babe, The
Apollo 13 is
Postman,
amazing.
Sense and Sensibility.
Why are we mad at Apollo 13? That's a great film.
It's a great
It is
film.
not
Right?
an Academy Award-winning film.
You are insane. Taylor Swift. Oh my god.
That is not Academy. I like the movie, but are you gonna put Are you gonna put Apollo 13 right next to, I don't know,
Listen, if I gotta listen to Dan say dumb things about 1996, I'm putting my wife's face up there so I can at least like enjoy it.
96 is the worst year in film.
I think 27 probably begs the differ.
Ever? Really?
It had
Dude, there was some horrendous years in the 50s. Oh man.
Oh my god, I'm thinking about all the years of that.
It's so bad.
Are you kidding me?
Batman Forever got nominated for an Academy Award.
Well, yeah, because for Kiss for a Rose, right?
No, for sound.
Oh.
A bad film can have great sound.
Great film? What?
Look at that. Yeah, Dream Child. Great movie.
But 96, there's no way. Okay. Why
Mick, just look at the screen. I sent it. I put it in the chat. Just look.
Oh, you sent it to me? Oh, sorry. I fucked up. I think I tried to do it.
This is so bad. And how did the usual suspects not get nominated for Best Picture?
Because there's a lot going on in that movie.
Okay. What we got here?
Oh my god, dude, it's so bad. Look at this.
Dude, Gandhi won in 82, and that film's boring as hell.
Are we listening to these? Which one do you want to listen to first?
Keep scroll. No, we're not listening to that shit. Just look at the movies.
Yeah, great movie. Great movie.
Mr. Hans is not a great movie. Nixon's not a great movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie for people who aren't really smart with history. So shut up.
It's like one of the most historically inaccurate period pieces ever.
Exactly. What did I just say?
It's up there. It's up there with Robin Hood.
Yeah, maybe you smarties are, Nixon sucked. But the rest of us are like, nah, cool. I like it. Anthony Hopkins, good job. Let us be naive, man. All right.
Dan, how about 1941? You only won Best Picture 1941. How green was my valley?
Oh no. I will defend How Green Is My Valley.
It's a good movie.
I'll defend any of the Warriors because all the actors went away to war.
Most.
Well, no, but it's Maureen O'Hara. I mean, like Victor Hagen. There's like
Mick's out here defending the silver screen.
Oh my god, that's one of John Ford's best movies. Oh my god, no.
Hamlet won it. Hamlet won in 1948, so they just Shakespeare.
That's okay.
But it was Laurence Olivier.
Kenneth Branagh's version of Hamlet is I still considered like the premier one.
I'm taking this down because I don't like seeing your
Around the World in 80 Days won in 56.
Mick doesn't like admitting that 96 is that bad.
No, I'm not saying that I wasn't good. But there was some really fine, whatever. 96.
That was
I don't have to defend it. I don't have to defend it.
Babe, how low are you scraping the bottom of the barrel when Babe is nominated for Best Picture?
No, The Postman is the one that fucks me up.
Toy Story did come out that year. You know what I think is weird? I didn't know this. Joss Whedon worked on the story for Toy Story. I didn't know that.
What is The Last Emperor was about the last Chinese emperor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a
World War II.
beautiful movie. Cinematography in that movie is amazing.
Dancing with Wolves. Oh my god, what a boring film.
Oh my god. My wife.
I just think about Chappelle's show when he's talking about Dancing with the Wolves in The Last Samurai. I can't say the line, Tim. I can't say the line, but that's what I'm thinking.
The English Patient won in '96. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm telling you, 96 is like the worst year in film.
Meanwhile, the next year, Titanic came out. How can you go from The English Patient to Titanic?
No, I hate Titanic, but it's a better film than anything on that list.
The English Patient is like one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen. And you know what? I'm going to say it because everybody hates me for it, but so is The Talented Mr. Ripley. Fuck that movie, too. I hate them both.
That's it. You're saying a lot, Mick. People love that film.
I know. I don't care. I've always hated that movie, and I'm standing by it.
People like that movie because everyone's beautiful. They don't like it because it's a good film.
Matt Damon is a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man. And so is Jude Law, and so's Gwyneth Paltrow, and old Gwyneth Paltrow, back in the day Gwyneth Paltrow. Now Gwyneth Paltrow's still beautiful. She's kooky, but whatever. She's her own, I guess.
You don't want a vagina-scented candle?
Hey man, I'm all about a hustle.
She's got a hustle. She even gave it when they tried to sue her for the skiing accident. She brought in cookies for the bailiff.
Because there's a lot of.
How out of touch do you have to be with reality to be like, hey bailiff? And the judge had to tell the bailiff he couldn't have them because the bailiff was going to take them. The bailiff was going to be like, sure, yeah, some cookies. He's like, you cannot take those cookies.
I feel so bad because I have not seen Coda or Nomadland.
Dude, Nomadland is terrible. Don't do it. It's so bad.
All right, here's the deal.
Oh, here we go, Mick. What are you going to tell me about Nomadland? That movie was boring as shit.
No. I don't care about
that. I'm scraping my brain out after I saw that movie. Frances McDormand is amazing. She's amazing. I love Frances McDormand. That movie was terrible.
No, it's not that. It's not that at all. I'm not defending it at all.
It's in Nomadland.
No, that's one movie. Okay, that's one movie out of almost everyone you say. And I'm like, what? You're crazy, but come on. I am loving hanging out here.
No, I got shit to do tomorrow too. Don't worry.
No.
Yeah, we gotta get in.
My wife is enticing me with pretzel bites.
I want pretzel bites with is it? Do you have stone ground mustard?
And all I want in the world right now is to sit with my wife, with eat pretzel bites, and watch my movies.
All I'm gonna say though is The Hurt Locker is an awesome movie of the year.
Overrated.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Rated.
There is no Jeremy Renner film that's overrated.
Hold on.
Hurt Locker's overrated.
Every Jeremy Renner film is exactly rated or it's underrated.
It's rated.
It's got beer cheese.
It's rated B for boring.
Do we have to play Dan off? I can play Dan off. Don't worry.
y'all like some boring ass.
What are you doing, man? Everybody go! Ejectocito,
I did that as he cut. I did this. I'm gonna die on these hills. I don't care. I think the movie's boring. I'm gonna stand.
I could not have my soundboard available during someone else's stream. It's too much.
No, I don't care, man. Have at it. I was having fun, man. But I am gonna go hang with my wife. I love you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Mick at Night.
Mick at Night.
Hang out with us Friday nights. We're just always chilling. A bunch of us.
Join us. It's open.
Yeah.
It's open season.
Let's get into it. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you soon, everybody.